The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Trust. To trust someone. What does that mean? I suppose that in simple terms, it means you feel sure that a certain person will not let you down, that you can put complete confidence in him or her. Assuredly, trust ranks among the strongest expressions of the human psyche. Yet it is also the most delicate and vulnerable, as Claudia Hammond found out.
Mary, they're going to kill me. He's going to kill me.
Now, Claudia, you've just got to put such terrible thoughts out of your head.
In heaven's name, Mary, how can I? You saw the letter from Todd's mistress. The woman Todd's making love to behind my back. You know what it said.
And I don't believe one word of it. Not one single word. Because your husband loves you, Claudia. You have nothing to fear from him.
Except one thing.
What one thing?
Death.
Our mystery drama, Trapped, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by George Lothar and stars Nina Foch. It is sponsored in part by Contact, the 12-hour cold capsule, and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
When you buy a mid-sized car, you expect certain things from it, mainly a reasonable combination of comfort and economy. Well, friend, Buick has a mid-size to meet your expectations. The 1975 Century Regal. It's a joy to look at, a joy to ride in, and Buick's new V6 engine makes it a joy to drive, especially past gas stations.
Buick Century Regal, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
Stanley Myron Handleton. Did you know you can have a college grad's career without 4 years of college? All you need is a year or two of technical education to work in fields like engineering, health service, automotive design, and forestry. The facts are in a free booklet called 25 Technical Careers in 2 years or less. Just right. Careers, Washington, D.C., 20202.
A public service message of this station and the Advertising Council.
At McDonald's, we give you good service. So when you come to our place, we give you more than fast service. We give you a smile and a thank you. Count on it.
You can count on our smiles. You can count on our speed. You deserve a great today at McDonald's.
Fast and friendly, and you can count on it.
Well, now, this thing, trust. It's as strong as tempered steel, yet as delicate as, a piece of porcelain. Strong because it grows slowly, deeply, in the compost of unselfish deed. Example, you would not trust me on brief acquaintance, but if I did several unselfish things for you, you would say, I trust E.G. because my welfare means more to him than his own. Yet, should I do one selfish thing, for whatever reason, and your trust, your confidence in me would crack, perhaps even shatter.
No, Claudia. When you want to sit up in bed, you let me adjust the pillows. That's what I'm here for.
Dear Heaven, Mary, can't I exert myself at all?
Not if you want to recover from your heart condition. Bed rest. That's what Dr. Stein ordered, and that is what I am paid to see you get.
Money can never repay you for all your care.
Oh, now, I'm rewarded in other ways, in watching you get better.
Huh. better.
You are getting better. Oh, it's slow, but you mustn't despair.
Mailman.
Todd, darling.
In person. How's the most beautiful wife in the world doing today?
She's very well, Mr. Hammond.
Oh, looks it, too. Rosy cheeks, bright blue eyes, shining gold hair. Give your actor husband a kiss.
Speaking of my actor husband, shouldn't you be at the theater?
Oh, I'll make it. Jerry kept me on the phone talking over the new film contract, and I wanted to sort the mail before taking off. Here's your batch.
Thank you, darling.
One more kiss. And I'm off. Take good care of her, Mary.
You know I will, Mr. Hammond. Well, now, let's see what your handsome mailman has brought today.
Now, let me open some, Mary.
All right, you can open these while I... Well, what's this?
What?
It's a letter addressed to Mr. Hammond. He must have overlooked it when he sorted the mail.
Huh?
Shell pink envelope. Perfumed. Woman's handwriting.
It's another MASH note. Todd gets them by the gross. Open it, Mary. Let's see what it says.
Oh, should we?
Of course. Todd shows me all his fan mail.
Oh.
Well, you know, proposals of marriage and offers of love and, I don't know what all. What's the matter?
A matter?
The way you look when you open that letter. Mary, what is it? Now, let me see that letter.
No, Claudia. I'll just give it to Mr. Hammond when
Mary, please, let me have that letter.
All right.
What? Mary, did you read this?
Well, I glanced at it enough to...
Todd, dearest, of course I love you as deeply, passionately as you love me. And you're right. Claudia does stand between us. So, dearest heart, I've changed my mind. I will go along with your plan to put her out of the way. Signed, Margot.
Margot, whoever she is, could use the services of a psychiatrist.
You think this is just one of those crank letters?
Oh, what else could it be? Claudia, you don't think it's anything but that?
If it is, he'd have good reason.
What are you talking about?
I'm not a wife anymore. I'm a burden.
Now, I will listen to no more of that. That husband of yours doesn't just love you. He adores you.
Or acts as if he does.
All right. Have it your way. Now, it's time for you to take your tonic and have a nap.
I don't want any tonic.
You've got to have it. It's the one thing that really builds up your strength.
Strength? For what? To go on living?
Of course. Oh, Claudia, honey, what makes
if
you...
Todd doesn't love me anymore, I'd just as soon be Todd. That you?
Sorry, sweetheart. I didn't mean to wake you. Just to look in on you.
Turn on a light.
No. Go back to sleep.
What time is it?
It's 2:30.
2:30? Where have you been till this hour?
With Jerry, talking film production this time. I'll be glad when he gets that picture deal straightened out. But come on now, back to sleep.
Aren't you going to kiss me goodnight?
Of course. Oh, hey, down, girl, down.
Oh, Todd, I love you so much.
Oh, no more than I love you, sweetheart. But you know what Dr. Stein said about...
I don't care what he said. Oh, Todd, I want you. I want to be a wife to you. The wife I used to be.
You are a wife to me. The dearest, most adorable wife any man could have.
I'm an invalid. A millstone round your neck.
If that's the case, you're the prettiest millstone I've ever had around my neck. Good night now. Sleep well.
Todd?
Yes?
Who is Margot?
Margot? Margot who?
Just Margot. Who is she?
I don't know. I mean, why do you ask?
Nothing.
You must have a reason.
No. It's nothing. Good night.
Good night, dear.
A friend. No name. It's just signed a friend.
Oh, now this is getting to be... May I see that letter, Claudia? Thank you. Dear Claudia Hammond, you don't know me, we've never met, but I happen to know that your husband and a woman named Margot he has been seeing for months now plan to kill you. Oh, really?
Now, read the rest of it.
Guard yourself. Be careful what you eat. Above all, don't take any of the tonic your doctor prescribed unless you trust the person who gives it to you. Signed, a friend.
Mary, I'm scared.
You have nothing to worry about as long as I'm here. I feed you. I give you your tonic, and I take care of you. So what do you have to fear?
What about your day off?
Well, Mrs. Gates comes in then, and you can certainly trust her.
Oh, I don't know.
All right then. I won't take any days off.
But you can't.
Of course I can. At least until this whole silly, stupid thing is cleared up. And believe me, Claudia, that is what it is. It's silly and stupid.
I wish I could believe you.
Claudia, please.
I want Mary back. Get Mary back, Todd.
Dearest, I told you it's impossible.
I don't believe it. I don't.
Now, stop that. Stop it.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. But you can't go on letting your emotions run away with you. It could kill you.
It could.
You know it could. Now, calm down and listen. Mary came to me this morning and said she had the offer of another job, nurse companion to an elderly and wealthy woman. I asked her what salary she'd be paid, hoping that I might meet it. But I couldn't. It's 3 times what we're paying her. And I
don't care. I want Mary.
Honey, I'm sorry, but you just can't have Mary.
Tell her I want to see her. I'll talk to her. I'll persuade her.
You can't talk to her. She's gone.
Gone?
She left an hour ago.
Left? Without saying goodbye?
She said to tell you she couldn't bear to face you.
Oh, I can't believe this. I simply can't.
Look, the world hasn't caved in. Mary was good, but there are other practical nurses. In fact, I'm going to run over to the agency right now to interview several.
Leaving me alone?
You're safe enough for an hour or so. You've been left alone before.
Never as alone as I am now.
What?
Nothing.
I won't be more than an hour, I promise.
What are you doing?
Giving you your tonic before I go.
No.
Sweetheart, you've got to take...
No, I said no.
Okay. Won't hurt you to skip it for once. It isn't exactly a matter of life and death.
Isn't it? Who's there? Who's there, I say?
Don't be scared, Claudia. It's only me.
Oh, Mary.
I saw Mr. Hammond leave and took the chance. He forgot to ask me for my key.
But, Mary, why have you come back? Todd said you didn't want to see me. Didn't want to say goodbye because it would upset me.
Oh, now, why would I say anything like that? How could I possibly upset you more than he did by firing me?
He fired you?
Well, yes. Why do you think I left? Claudia, what did he tell you?
Well, that you had a better offer with some wealthy woman or other and that he couldn't afford to keep you as my nurse.
I see.
Mary, what is this?
Oh, honey, there was no offer of another job. He fired me. He told me to pack my things and get out and never come back.
Then he's getting ready to...
Now, it looks that way.
Oh.
But I'm going to call the police.
The police?
There's no other way. With me out of the house, you need protection.
But what can the police do? There's no proof Todd means to kill me.
There are the letters. You still have them, don't you?
Yes. But do you think they're enough, those letters, to convince the police? Won't they think what you thought at first? Crank letters?
Very likely, but they're all we have. Now, you keep them until I need them. And I'd better leave. He could come back any minute. Oh, here. I wrote it out for you. It's my telephone number. And you call me. You just call me anytime you need me.
Oh, Mary, I can't let you go.
I know, honey. I don't want to go. But we have no choice. But don't you worry. You are going to come out of this. Believe me.
Question is, will I come out of it alive? darling. Here I am, bag and baggage.
Come in, sweetie. I'll show you your room. Mary's former room.
You got rid of her, I take it.
Fired her this morning.
Good.
But I told Claudia she'd left for another job, one that paid better. So careful you don't give the show away.
You don't have to worry about me, darling.
No, but just be careful what you do or say. The last thing we want is Claudia getting suspicious.
Leave it to me.
Now, this will be your room.
Nice.
And now, I'll introduce you to Claudia. Oh, did you decide on a name?
How does Catherine Brent suit you?
Not bad. Okay, let's put this show on the road. Catherine?
Trust, as I said, is both strong and delicate. I might also have said that it can be misplaced. As it virtually goes without saying, Claudia misplaced hers. It's a mistake to misplace one's trust. A serious, indeed a dangerous mistake. For Claudia, it may be the last mistake she'll ever make. I'll return shortly with Act 2.
Give your hand to a friend. Give your heart to your loves. But give your cold to contact. The sooner the better.
A common cold is a rotten thing. You miss so much. Sneezing, drips, and congestion can drag you down. Then, ask yourself the contact question. 6 or 3 or 1? You'd need 6 cold tablets, 2 every 4 hours, or 3 ounces of Cold's liquid, 1 every 4 hours, or just 1 contact for up to 12 hours continuous relief of those symptoms. That's daytime, then nighttime relief. Both the others have things for aches and fever, and the liquid, something for coughs. Not found in Contact 600 Tiny Time pills.
Give your cold to contact.
6 or 3 or 1. Take Contact. Only as directed.
Kitchen appliances are power tools, too, just as much as drills and jigsaws. Hi, Frank Lieber here to tell you True Value hardware stores have that kind of power tool, too. Kitchen appliances that help cooks create. A West Bend party percolator, for instance. It makes a lot of coffee, 20 cups, and then keeps it hot. If you ever had to make coffee for 10 with a 9-cup percolator, you know the advantage of that. It has a durable polypropylene body and a 2-way spigot, just $9.99. And there's a Toastmaster broiler oven, one that cleans itself as it cooks. In one position, it broils and grills. Flip it over, and it bakes and roasts. It's just $32.88 at True Value hardware stores. And there's a Hamilton Beach 14-speed blender. It comes with 2 special plastic containers. You can blend food in them, then store them away in the refrigerator. Just $19.88. Kitchen appliances are power tools, too. Just a few of the values at participating True Value hardware stores.
Our theme is trust. Abiding faith of one person in the honesty of another. Yet who of us has not at one time or another been duped by a person in whom we reposed complete confidence? Or did we dupe ourselves? Did our very faith in another place too much of a burden on him or her? In sum, did we have the right to impose our trust on another?
Claudia, this is Catherine Brent, your new nurse. She's replacing Mary.
Hello, Mrs. Hammond. I'm delighted to meet you.
Well, aren't you going to say hello to Catherine?
Hello, Catherine.
I'll leave it to you to get acquainted. Got to get to the theater. We're rehearsing a new second lead for tonight's performance. Goodbye, sweetheart. Take good care of her, Mark. Catherine.
Trust me, Mr. Hammond. I mean to take very good care of her. Well, now, Mrs. Hammond, what can I do for you? You can leave me alone. Very well. But there are some things I must do. See that you take your meals, your tonic. Oh, by the way, where is it? Your tonic. Oh, never mind, I see. This bottle here.
And it's just about time for you to have it.
I don't want it.
Oh, tastes bad. Well, does it?
No.
Well, then why don't you want it?
Don't you know?
I'm not a mind reader, Mrs. Hammond.
Neither am I. But I can read yours.
Well, in that case, you must know that I intend to give you your tonic whether you want it or not.
You can't force me to take it.
True.
Well, then?
I said I intended to give it to you whether you wanted it or not. I didn't say that I'd succeed.
Clever, aren't you?
Matter of fact, I am. Yes.
I'm impressed. Does it help you, your cleverness, to steal other women's husbands?
I beg your pardon?
You heard me, Catherine.
Well, it must taste bad. That's it, isn't it? Won't answer? Well, find out for myself. Well, it doesn't taste bad. Tastes rather like a nice red wine. You sure you won't change your mind?
You drank some.
Oh, I hope you don't mind. Just a small glassful. Oh. Here now, won't you? That's it. That's better.
What?
Well, looks like I succeeded, after all.
You are clever. Very clever.
And thank you, Dr. Stein. Thank you very much. Good night. Well, you heard what he said, Claudia.
Yes?
If you continue to refuse to eat, to drink, to take the tonic, you'll find yourself in such a weakened state that I don't know what'll happen to you.
I'll die. That's what you want, isn't it? Well, don't just stare at me. It is what you want.
Sweetheart, Dr. Stein said, he said if you don't keep your strength up, you begin to think all kinds of crazy things, delusions like that. But sweetheart, I'm beginning to think you are.
It's no delusion. You do want me to die, to put me out of the way.
Claudia.
And I don't blame you. How could I? I mean, look at me. An invalid, so weak I can't even leave this bed. A useless woman. A useless wife.
Oh, Claudia.
You think I don't know how it must be for you? You're a man. Not just any man, but a Broadway star who could have any woman he wanted. And all you've got is me.
All I want is you.
Don't lie to me. Oh, please, don't do that. I couldn't bear that. You remember our promise to each other.
Promise?
You don't remember. And it isn't so long ago. We were so in love then. So in love. We promised we would trust each other. We sat in that little garden by the side of St. Bartholomew's Church on Park Avenue.
Oh, yes. I remember the promise now.
Have you kept it? Have you?
Claudia, you're weak. You're worn out.
Have you?
What are you doing to me? To yourself?
Have you?
Claudia. Claudia!
What is it? What's that?
Another heart seizure, I think.
Phone Dr. Stein.
He's not back in his office yet.
Phone anyhow. Get it on record that you phoned.
Yes.
Yes?
You decent? Can I come in?
Decent? You have got to be kidding, darling.
Stein just left.
And?
She'll be all right for a time. But he made it plain if she goes on refusing to eat, to take the tonic, it's curtains for her.
So?
What do you mean, so?
Just what I said. So. I'm sorry, Todd.
If she hadn't been ill all these months, if I hadn't had needs, a man's needs,
you'd have had no need for me. Is that what you're saying?
I guess maybe it is.
I thought I was something more than the fulfillment of your needs. I thought... never mind. If you want out, you say so. You say so now.
It isn't as simple as that.
It is to me. You're putting me through a hell of a time. The deal isn't worth it.
Huh?
Todd, I'm still willing to go through with this. But I'd just as soon get out right now. What do you want me to do?
We'll go ahead with things. Claudia, dearest, it's a simple, clear broth.
Oh.
You're wasting away.
Well, if you're so worried, let me go to a hospital.
Why in heaven's name a hospital?
You know why.
Claudia, I don't. Why a hospital? What difference would that make?
At least I could eat without fear.
Fear of what? Hello. Oh, yes, Dr. Stein. No, she's still refusing. I don't know. Doctor, she wants to go back to the hospital. Now, well, that's the way I see it, too, but yes. All right, Doctor. And thanks very much for calling.
What did he say? Can I go back to the hospital?
No.
No?
He doesn't see what good that would do. He said it's simply a matter of your taking food, the tonic, to build up your strength. And if you refuse to do that here...
You're lying.
Claudia...
He said no such thing. You want to keep me here. You and Margot.
Margot?
Oh, don't act as if you didn't know.
But I don't.
Hope I'm not interrupting. I just came to see if Claudia's taken her broth.
No.
Oh, now, look, Claudia, I am knocking myself out trying to take care of you, and that includes cooking. And, sweetie, if you're not going to eat, I'd just as soon not cook.
Don't, then. Don't cook. What does it matter how you kill me? By poison or starvation, just so you do it.
Kill you?
Claudia, what in heaven's name are you saying?
You know what I'm saying. The two of you.
Oh, Claudia. I said this before, but I'm saying it again. You're imagining things.
Am I? I'll show you. I've got them here on my pillow.
Oh, Claudia, don't exert yourself. Whatever it is, I'll get it for you.
Get away from me.
Darling.
I'll get it. Here. I'm imagining things, am I? Is this letter a dream? And this?
Let me see.
Oh, no, you don't get your hands on them. They're the only evidence I've got of what you're up to.
Evidence?
It's all here in this letter you sent Todd. But he never got because it was mixed up in my mail. I'm sure you'll remember it. Todd, dearest, of course I love you as deeply, passionately as you love me. And you're right. Claudia does stand between us. So, dearest heart, I've changed my mind. I will go along with your plan to put her out of the way. Signed, Margot. Well, what do you have to say now, Margot?
You think that I am the woman who wrote that letter? I am Margot?
That's incredible. I had no idea, none whatever, that this was why you were refusing to eat or drink. Oh, Claudia, sweetheart, darling, whatever you've been thinking is wrong. You're wrong. You're all wrong.
You're certainly wrong about me. My name is not Margot.
It isn't Catherine either. Well, is it?
Well, of course it is.
No.
Todd.
No. It isn't. Catherine isn't her name, Claudia. It's Margaret. Margaret Sutton.
Margaret Sutton? I didn't even think I was born yesterday.
Claudia, believe me.
I saw Margaret Sutton on the stage often enough. She was slim and dark, and this woman is... She's...
All right, say it, darling. A fat peroxide blonde. I'm afraid I've got a bigger appetite than you.
If this woman is Margaret Sutton, why did you say her name was Catherine Brent?
I thought it would be best not to remind you of the past. You were so jealous in the early years of our marriage. I never dared even mention Margaret's name.
What is she doing here? Why did you replace Mary with her?
I needed someone I could trust to take care of you.
Well, if you needed someone you could trust, why did you fire Mary?
I told you. Mary had the offer of a better job.
That's a lie. Mary told me you fired her. You did, didn't you?
Well, since it's all coming out, I guess you'll have to know.
You fired her?
Yes.
Why?
Claudia, I don't want to hurt you. I know how fond you were of Marion.
And always will be. She was the most devoted, dedicated person I've ever known.
No, Claudia. It was all an act. The simple truth is that Mary was in love with me.
In love? With you?
Almost from the first day she entered this house, she started doing everything she could do to, well, get me to fall in love with her.
If you expect me to believe...
I don't expect you to believe it. But what I'm telling you now is the truth. Things went from bad to worse over the months. She got more and more difficult to handle, and finally, I couldn't take it anymore. I fired her. Claudia, that is the truth.
Go away and leave me alone.
Claudia, look at me. I swear I'm telling you the truth this time.
Leave me alone, please. Please leave me alone.
Better do what she wants, Todd. Or she could die right now. Come on. I've got to hand it to you, Todd. I always knew you were a good actor, but not that good.
I told her the truth.
But not all of the truth. By no means the whole truth.
What is the whole truth? What game are these two playing with Claudia as the pawn? Todd has lied to Claudia again and again. What lie or half-truth has he told her this time? I'll return shortly with Act 3.
You've seen the Budweiser commercials on television, and maybe you've wondered how long people have been putting that famous Bud label on things. Well, not as long as the brewers of Bud have been putting things on the label. Things like a list of Bud's most important ingredients. Quote, brewed by our original process from the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt. And things like the following statement. This is the famous Budweiser beer. We know of no brand produced by any other brewer which costs so much to brew and age. Our exclusive Beechwood aging produces a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you'll find in no other beer at any price. Unquote. Yes, brewing beer right does make a difference. Read the Bud label. Taste the king of beers, and you'll agree, when you say Budweiser, you've said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
You know, there's clean and there's McDonald's clean. That means at McDonald's, the cleaning never stops. So it's really clean. And when you come to our place, you can count on it.
You can count on a place that is spotlessly clean. You deserve a great day at McDonald's.
Clean. You can count on it.
The very foundation stone of trust is truth. Accordingly, since Todd Hammond has lied to his wife Claudia repeatedly, she can scarcely be expected to trust him. So far as I'm concerned, she'd be a fool if she did. Apparently, she feels as I do, for as we rejoin her now, a helpless invalid, trapped in her bedroom, we find her telephoning the police.
Detective Bureau, Detective Jackson.
This is Claudia Hammond.
Claudia?
Hammond. Hammond.
Yes, ma'am. What can I do for you?
My husband and a woman. A woman he's in love with are trying to kill me. I need your help. Please, I need help.
Certainly, ma'am. We'll give you all the help we can. Who is your husband?
Todd Hammond. Todd Hammond, the actor?
Yeah, sure. You say he's trying to kill you. Him and this woman.
Yes.
And what's her name?
She's trying to palm herself off as an actress named Margaret Sutton, but I know better. Her real name is Margot.
Margot who?
I don't know. I'm an invalid, helpless, and bedridden, and he wants to get rid of me.
How's he trying to do this? What's he doing?
Poisoning my food. Everything I drink.
Are you on any kind of pills like that?
You think I'm high on pills? That I'm imagining things?
No, ma'am, I didn't say that. Oh. Maybe just a little excited, a little hysterical?
I'm not uptight. I'm not hysterical. I'm telling you the truth. They're trying to kill me. Hello?
What's your address, ma'am?
1219 Park.
Apartment house?
Yes.
Apartment number?
Penthouse B.
Okay, we'll check this out. In fact, I'll check it out personally.
What do you mean you check it out? Oh, there's nothing to check out. They're trying to kill me, Todd and Margot. Only she doesn't call herself Margaret. She calls herself Margaret Sutton. And I can prove it. I tell you, I can prove it. I've got the letters to prove it.
Letters?
A letter from her to him saying she was willing to help him kill me. And another letter from a friend warning me against them.
What friend? What's your friend's name?
You don't believe me.
I didn't say I don't believe you.
I shouldn't have called. I should have known I'd only be wasting my time. I should have known you wouldn't believe me. Oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Mary. Mary, of course. Why didn't I think of her before this?
Hello?
Mary. Mary. This is Claudia.
Oh, Claudia, I've been so worried about you, but I didn't dare phone you.
Yes. Listen to me. It's happening. What the two of them planned, Todd and Margot. She replaced you, and he pretended she was a nurse from the agency. He lied. Even gave her a different name. Called her Catherine Brent, and then... Well, you won't believe this. You really won't believe it. She tried to palm her off as an old flame of his, Margaret Sutton, who was slim and dark, and this woman, this Margot, she's fat and...
Claudia.
Yes?
Now, you must control yourself, dear.
Yes.
Because of your heart. You're putting a terrible strain on your heart.
Yes. I'll quiet down.
That's my girl.
Mary!
Now, hush. Just listen to me. They're not going to harm you, because I'm not going to let them.
The police?
Yes, I went to the police as I said I would, but I could see that they didn't take me seriously.
No, me neither. I was just talking to them.
What is it? Is there something wrong?
If
Claudia.
you can't send the books over today, then send them when you can. Goodbye.
Bookstore?
Yes.
You ordered some books. I'll be happy to go and get them for you if they can't send them over today.
Do you dare let me out of your sight? Just to go around the corner?
10 minutes at most. Which is why I don't understand how they can't deliver today. Who were you talking to, Claudia?
That's none of your business.
Suit yourself.
Oh.
That'll be Dr. Stein, I guess.
Dr. Stein?
He's going to give you your vitamin injections. Oh, and, darling, don't waste your time telling him Todd and I are killing you. He thinks you're off your rocker as it is.
You were supposed to monitor all her calls, but you let her phone the police.
I'm sorry, Todd, but even you will have to agree I have only 2 hands, 2 eyes, and 2 ears. I can't be everywhere and do everything at once.
A detective coming to see me backstage.
I'm sorry.
I guess it's not that important. What's important is not to let her get in touch with Mary. Or Mary with her.
What happened with the detective?
He didn't believe her, of course. Just checking up was all. But she did manage to get past you, and that worries me. Mary could start an awful lot of trouble. And that's the last thing in the world I need right now.
Take the phone out of her bedroom.
No. We don't have to go that far. There's an easier way. Just take this extension off the hook.
You're kidding.
No, it was a gimmick used in a play I was in years ago. That way she can't call out and nobody can phone in. But watch her. Watch her like a hawk. One slip up and it could mean the end. Believe me, the end.
Mary's number now. Where is it? Here. Funny. Something's wrong. Oh, no. They're taking the phone off the extension. It's like in that play he was in. I can't phone out, and nobody can phone in. Oh, God. God, help me. Please. I don't want to die. Please. Oh, please. I want to live. Could I possibly... What time? 10:35. He won't be back from the theater till after 11. And she's... I'll take my chances. If I can only get out of bed. Walk. Crawl. I have to. Everything's swimming. Dizzy. I mustn't faint. Mustn't. Weak. So weak. Life depends. Your life. Now. Step. Open the door. The living room. The food. Yes. On that last table. They took the phone off the hook. Replaced. One more step. Only one. Oh, dear Lord, no. Oh, just put my phone back. Hang on. Put this one back on the hook and then get back to my... Get back. Bedroom. Now, just one step. What in the name of Claudia?
Todd, you can't help her. Sitting here by her bedside all night, it does no good. You've got a matinee. I'll sit with her.
Getting on your feet, too. What a word to use now.
She isn't, and she may not die.
No. She lost so much blood, wrist cut, when she crashed through that table. So much blood they didn't dare move her to a hospital. And now look at her. White as a sheet.
Go and get some sleep, Todd. I'll stay with her. And Todd...
Yes?
Forget the deal.
I don't get you.
I agreed to play nurse because you needed somebody you could trust. You know something, darling? You trusted the wrong woman. You wanted me to protect her against Mary. And I said, okay, in exchange for that character lead in your new film. But you know what I was really after, Todd?
Oh, no. Not you. Not after all these years.
Afraid so. I'm a woman. I love you. Enough not to envy you your happiness with her.
I love you, too. But I love her a hell of a lot more.
Claudia?
Mary?
Shh. Now listen, dear. They're asleep. He in his room and her in that chair. I still have my key.
Oh, Mary, you came at last.
Shh. Now quiet, dear. I'm going to take you down in the service elevator. I jammed the door, and then into my car and home to my place, where you'll be safe, honey, really safe. Now, can you walk?
I can't even get up.
Oh, dear. And I can't carry you. Honey, you've got to find the strength to walk. The tonic. I'll give you a glass of the tonic. That always gave you quick strength.
No, it's poison.
Oh, no. They wouldn't have dared to do that. If they succeeded in poisoning you, the coroner would have impounded the bottle. No, they'd have poisoned the glass, not the bottle. Here. Now you drink this right down.
Yes.
No. Awake. You're awake. You bet I'm awake. And waiting for you. I've been waiting for you to give yourself away. So Mr. Hammond and I could turn you over to the police with the evidence to convict you.
Evidence to convict me? You're crazy. She's crazy. This woman's crazy.
Claudia, Todd told you the truth about Mary being insanely in love with him.
What?
Of propositioning him, the whole scene. Todd put up with her insane nonsense till she said something one day that made him realize she intended, one way or another, to kill you.
Oh, you're lying. That isn't true. It can't be true. Not of Mary.
It's all too true of Mary. And I can prove it. I can prove it by what Mary just told you.
What? What did Mary just tell me?
That if Todd and I wanted to kill you, we'd not have risked poisoning the bottle of tonic. Only the glass.
What?
Well, I never poisoned the bottle. And so I'll drink it straight off. There.
You drank the whole bottle.
It's quite delicious. And healthy.
So you drank it. What does that prove?
It proves that what you poured into the glass, Mary, could not have been poisoned unless you slipped the poison into the glass, which you did.
No, I did not.
In that case, Mary, drink the glass. Well, go on, Mary. Drink it.
Mary.
I hate you. I have always hated you, you sniveling little invalid. A man like him needing a woman. Needing a wife, the kind of wife that I could have been. That's why I wrote those letters. To prepare you for the death that you had coming to you. And to play it smart. Yes, smart. Because if anything had gone wrong, he would have been blamed for your murder, not me.
You're crazy.
I am not crazy.
She's stupid, too.
Todd, stupid? I was stupid?
That letter from a friend. Only 4 people knew Claudia took that tonic. Claudia, Dr. Stein, me, and you. Marge, call the police, will you?
Trust. Truth. Trust, it would seem, can be many things, or at least a thing of infinite variety. As for truth, well, the evidence seems clear that one man's truth is another man's lie. The answer to this complexity? Surely the answer lies in the complexity of you, of me, of all mankind. Where else? I'll be back shortly.
There is a fresh new spirit sweeping the land. A free spirit that demands good products. Products that satisfy your sense of good taste and desire for economy. But above all, products that perform. Buick has been touched by this spirit. And this year, our crisply designed, solidly built Buicks will bring joy even to the most demanding of free spirits. The 1975 Buicks, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
Hi, this is Pearl Bailey. Today I'm not going to try and entertain you. Instead, I'm going to put before you the distressing story of the needy children of the world. They need your help. The bright side is that you can give them all of this by working with Save the Children Federation. Together you can forge a better world, one in which children can have hope instead of despair. To find out how, you write today to Save the Children Federation, Box 120, Grand Central Station, New York, 10017. Please help these children.
I'm sure you'll want to know that Claudia is now fully recovered from her illness and that she and Todd are very happy together. As for Margaret Sutton, would you believe that the role she played in Todd's film revived her acting career? Well, it did. Our cast included Nina Foch, Charles Aitman, Leslie Woods, Joan Tompkins, and Joe DeSantis. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
Now, a preview of our next tale. Voila! We have an instant voodoo doll. Fascinating, isn't it? To know that the doll is meant to be a representation of you? Now look at it.
I'm looking.
Yeah, well, keep looking. Now, don't take your eyes off of it. You can almost see your face in the cloth, can't you? It's almost as if the doll is you. Whatever happens to the doll happens to you. Sharing one body between you. One life. One destiny.
I still think it's silly.
All right. And let's see what happens when I take this letter knife.
What are you going to do?
Nothing. I'm merely going to plunge this knife into a meaningless piece of cloth.
No, don't!
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
And now, Mystery Theater.
Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Come in. What's that? Yes, it is rather dark in here. You see, we never turn on the lights. We don't need any. At the Radio Mystery Theater, all we illuminate is your imagination. We fill it full of ghostly radiations, mysterious emanations, the eerie glow of terrifying images. And now we have a most unusual image for you. The image of a doll. Yes, I said doll. And a very pretty one, too. Long, silky blonde hair, innocent, round blue eyes, a charming dress of taffeta and lace. This is the central character of the story you're about to hear. Of course, you're asking, what makes a doll an image of fear and horror?
You've got to find it, Jimmy. You've got to get that doll away from him.
Okay, honey, okay. Give us a little time.
I don't have any time. If something happens to that doll, I'll die.
Our mystery drama, The Doll, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Henry Slessor and stars Joanne Linville and Ross Martin. Our story begins in the classroom of a small coeducational university. Not a very unusual setting. But today, these young men and women are hearing an unusual lecture. The guest speaker is Professor Eric Douglas, and the subject of his address is written in chalk on the blackboard. Let's step a little closer and see what it says. Homeopathic magic, ancient and modern. Let's be quiet and listen.
For thousands of years, people believed they could injure or destroy their enemy by injuring or destroying an image of him. And so they made likenesses in cloth, in wood, in clay. The ancient Egyptians used wax. The wizards would take a drop of a man's blood, clippings from his hair, or parings of his nails, and knead them into a wax figure.
You mean like a voodoo doll, Professor?
Voodoo belongs to the modern era, but the idea is exactly the same. Once the doll was made in this fashion, the victim was at the mercy of the sorcerer. So, you see, the doll is really man's oldest toy and perhaps his deadliest.
You mean that stuff really works?
Well, that is the strangest part of all. Sometimes it works very well.
You got to be kidding, Professor.
Young lady, I wonder if you'd like to help me with a little experiment.
Me, Professor?
Yes. Will you come up front, please? Now, just for the fun of it, shall we make a doll?
Huh?
All right. Now let's see. What shall we use? Now this little towel will do fine. I'll just tie a knot to make the head. Yeah. And now let's dress it up a little. Can you help me?
How?
Well, with some part of you, a hair from your head, perhaps. Now, how about something you own? That ring, maybe. May I borrow that?
Well,
yeah, thank you. Now, we'll put that around the neck. And voila. We have an instant voodoo doll. Fascinating, isn't it? To know that the doll is meant to be a representation of you? Now, look at it.
I'm looking.
Yeah, well, keep looking. Now, don't take your eyes off of it. You can almost see your face in the cloth, can't you? It's almost as if the doll is you. Whatever happens to the doll happens to you. You, the doll. You, the doll, sharing one body between you. One life, one destiny.
I still think it's silly.
All right. And let's see what happens when I take this letter knife.
What are you going to do?
Nothing. I'm merely going to plunge this knife into a meaningless piece of cloth.
No, don't!
Prudence? Prudence?
You called me Professor?
Yes. I want to know what you think of this record. Fred Cartwright sent it to me. Claims it's an authentic Damballa ritual march.
I could not say, Professor.
I think it was probably recorded on Hollywood Boulevard. Well, that's enough of that. Well, what's become of Laura? Isn't she home yet?
She's just arrived, sir. She's in the living room.
Oh. Laura, darling. I didn't hear the door. You're very late.
Oh, I'm sorry, Eric. The match wasn't over until 6. You went 5 sets.
And who won?
You know you don't care the first thing about tennis.
That's a young man's game, not for old birds like me.
Oh, come on, stop that. You're far from old. Oh, Prudence, I hope I didn't spoil your dinner.
It's all right, Miss Fletcher. I'll go see to it now.
Eric, why won't she ever call me Laura?
Oh, it's just her way. You know how it is in the islands. A servant's place is a servant's place. Tradition.
It's more than that. It's resentment.
You've got your father's sensitivity. Harry was always thinking that people resented him.
Maybe he had good reason. He wasn't very popular among his colleagues.
Your father was a renegade. That's why. It's one thing to investigate primitive cultures. That's an anthropologist's job. But to spend your life among them, to raise your child among them...
No, I never complained.
Well, you managed to turn out pretty happily. But you're still half savage, of course.
Am I?
You can't fool me, Laura. You're still a child of voodoo, just like Prudence.
Don't be silly, Eric.
I know you, all right. When the full moon rises and the drums start to beat in the jungle and the serpent god Damballa raises his hooded head...
Eric, stop it.
What's the matter?
I'm sorry. I have that awful headache.
Again? Well, come on, let's take care of it.
No, don't bother. I'll be all right in a moment.
Best time to stop it is early. Right now. You listen to Dr. Douglas here, and we'll get rid of that pain in 2 minutes. Come on now. Lie back.
All right.
Now, just relax. Just remember how we've done this before.
Yes. I remember.
That's right. Now, shut your eyes, Laura. Think of your mind as a large, empty cavern. cavern, you hear my voice. Very faint, as if I'm speaking to you from far, far away.
Yes.
You feel at peace, relaxed, happy. Your head is clear. Your pain is gone.
Yes. It's gone.
Oh, you're happy now, Laura. You're happy to be here with me. With me, my darling. Aren't you?
Yes. I'm happy.
You love me, Laura, don't you? Not in the way you loved your father. You love me as a man. I'll say it, darling. Say, I love you, Eric.
I love you.
Say my name, Laura. My name.
I love you, Jimmy.
What is the matter with you, Prudence?
I'm sorry, Professor. The dish fell from my hand.
What is it? What happened?
Nothing, my dear. You're fine. You're just fine. Prudence just dropped something.
I came to tell you that dinner is ready.
Well, so you had a good tennis game, did you? Was it mixed doubles?
It was, as a matter of fact.
Oh, who was your partner? Not someone named Jimmy by any chance?
Why, yes. How did you know?
Oh, well, no mystery. You spoke his name while you were hypnotized. Who is Jimmy?
Well, his full name is Jimmy Collins.
You known him long?
About 3 months.
3 months? Well, you've never mentioned him before.
Oh, I'm sure I did. I'd love for you to meet him, Eric. I'm sure you two would get along.
What's he do for a living besides mixed doubles?
He's in Wall Street.
Well. Maybe you've started choosing your friends more carefully, darling. I'm glad to see that. But, just the same.
Eric, listen, I wish you would stop talking to me like a scolding father.
I am not your father. I was talking to you as a friend.
I'm sorry.
Do you wish dessert now, Professor?
No. No, Prudence, no dessert. Gotta stay in trim. Who knows? I might take up tennis yet. Laura, I tell you what. Why don't you bring this Jimmy around? I'd love to meet him.
No, I'm afraid I don't know much about Haiti, Professor Burnside. I've never been to the island.
Oh, well, of course, Laura has told you of her life there.
Oh, yes, she's told me all about it. In fact, you spent some time there yourself, didn't you?
Yes, a few years. That's where I met Laura and her father, as a matter of fact.
You can see that Eric brought back half the islands with him.
Well, I have my souvenirs, like this thing, for instance.
What is that? Looks a little tacky to me.
Well, they call it an Ouanga packet. It's a charm the voodoo men use for every purpose. Some good and some bad.
We should throw out that awful thing, Eric.
Well, it was a gift made for me by an old mamaloy in Port-au-Prince. It's a protective charm, guaranteed to ward off the devil, and, of course, Laura can tell you more about it. Laura's much more of an expert on voodoo than I am.
You mean just because she was raised on the island? Well, it's an interesting primitive study, otherwise sheer nonsense, of course.
Oh, well, you shouldn't have said that. You've offended Laura dreadfully. Laura's a believer, you know. She played with voodoo dolls the way other children play with Chatty Cathy and Betsy Witsy.
Eric, please stop it.
Ask her, Jimmy. Go ahead. Ask her if that isn't so.
Oh, I'd feel very foolish asking that question.
Oh, Jimmy, of course it isn't so.
Well, that's good to hear, frankly. I mean, it'd be a heck of a thing on our honeymoon, waking up and finding an Ouanga bag in my slipper.
Did you say honeymoon?
Yes. Didn't Laura tell you? Laura and I are engaged.
We're going to be married next week.
Professor.
What do you want?
It's late, Professor. After midnight.
Leave me alone, Prudence. Go to bed.
There is no chain strong enough to hold her.
What'd you say?
The girl is not of your blood. Why do you struggle to keep her?
Prudence, I can't lose her. You hear me? If I lose Laura, I die.
No, Professor.
Oh, you've got to help me. If you want me to live, you've got to help me.
There is nothing anyone can do.
There is something that you can do.
What is that?
I've been thinking about it all night. Prudence, you can make a doll.
Well, what have we here? A four-sided triangle? Professor Eric Burnside, young Laura Fletcher, Jimmy Collins, a servant named Prudence. Or is this going to turn out to be a five-sided triangle with the fifth member of the equation, a doll? We'll find out what Prudence can do to help the professor in his emotional dilemma when I return shortly with Act 2. A week has passed since Laura Fletcher made her earth-shaking announcement to Professor Eric Douglas. The announcement which turned the professor's world completely upside down. But for a man who has looked into the future and found it bleak and empty, Eric seems like a happy man at the moment as he listens to the sound of the Damballa ceremony and waits for Laura Fletcher to enter the room.
Eric, I'm here.
Laura. Well, let me stop this racket. Well, don't you look lovely?
And don't you look well? Eric, I can't tell you how good it is to see you smiling.
Well, I've got something to smile at, all right? Myself. I don't know what came over me that night, Laura. I just was not myself. I couldn't let you run off and get married without my blessing. And a suitable present, of course.
A present? Eric, you shouldn't have.
You've always admired this ivory charm, and I want you to have it. You and Jimmy.
Oh, Eric. It's beautiful. It must be priceless.
Well, it's not as priceless as our friendship. I wouldn't want anything to happen to that.
Oh, thank you so much. Jimmy will be as thrilled with it as I am.
I think we should talk before you go away, darling. I think we should talk about your father.
What about him?
I have to ask you this, Laura. Whether or not you've ever told your fiancé the full story.
I've told him quite a lot.
Including the way it ended for him?
Don't talk about it now, Eric. Please.
You know, I still blame myself. I knew that Harry wasn't right in the head. I could see the signs. And I shouldn't have let it go as far as I did.
Please, Eric. You know that I cannot bear to remember that time.
I know. You were only 14, but you witnessed it all. His mad delusions.
Don't. Oh, my head.
Laura, what is it?
It's
the pain again?
Yes.
Oh, poor darling. Here, come on, lean back.
It happens every time I remember my father.
Shh. No, don't talk. Just lean back, relax, close your eyes.
Yes. Thank you, Eric. Thank you.
Now breathe deeply, darling. Deeply. Now, you remember how we do this together. How we make the pain disappear. How you clear your mind of everything but the sound of my voice.
Yes.
You can't hear anything but me now, Laura. Just my voice. echoing in your mind. You're asleep now. You're so deeply asleep that you won't waken until I tell you. You won't know anything but what you hear me say. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
That's it, my darling. Deep, deep, deep. Prudence? Prudence!
Yes, Professor. I'm here.
Bring it to me.
No, Professor, this is wrong.
Bring me the box, Prudence.
Very well. Here.
Yes. Yes, Prudence, a beautiful doll. That's a beautiful likeness. Laura? Laura? Open your eyes.
Yes.
What do you see, Laura?
I see.
There, darling, there. It's all right. Don't cry anymore.
What happened? What happened to me?
Nothing at all. You were asleep and you had a bad dream.
Asleep?
Yes. You had one of your headaches, do you remember? And I put you under hypnosis, and then I decided to let you sleep it off. You seem so tired.
I feel so strange.
I know. The truth is, well, I'm not sure that you're well.
What do you mean?
When do you and Jimmy plan to get married?
This weekend.
I can't help wondering if that's wise.
What do you mean?
I wonder if you're well enough. You seem so run down, and the headaches are obviously worse. It took a long time to make you lose the pain.
Eric, Jimmy and I are getting married this Saturday. We're driving to Crompton late, and we're getting married by the Justice of the Peace. Nothing is going to change that. Nothing.
You sure you feel okay, Laura?
Yes, I'm all right.
You hardly said a word since we started out.
Well, a girl doesn't run off to get married every day of her life. I need time to reflect.
Haven't changed your mind, I hope.
No, I haven't changed my mind.
Well, then what's that cold sweat all about? It's not another one of your headaches, is it?
No, it's just nerves. These bridal jitters. Now, maybe if you didn't drive so fast.
I can't help it. I'm in a hurry.
Don't have to rip the bell off the door, young man.
I'm sorry about that. My name is Collins. I called this morning about the wedding.
Oh, the judge is inside. He's near deaf as a post, so better make the I-do's good and loud.
I intend to.
Oh, come in. Come on, come in, folks. Mom will act as witness.
Fine.
Young lady, you stand here, next to young man.
Honey, are you all right? Huh? Oh, yes, I'm fine. You sure you wouldn't like a glass of water? Oh, no. No, thank you.
Steady, honey. It only hurts for a minute.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered together here in the sight of God, in the face of His company, trying to gather this man and this woman, holy matrimony.
What's wrong?
Which is an honorable estate instituted by God.
Just a little shortness of breath.
Signifying unto us,
Laura.
union as betwixt Christ and His church, which holy estate Christ adorned.
Oh,
and
Jimmy.
sanctified
What's the matter?
What's the matter? What?
I've got this awful pain. This terrible pain.
sorry.
Oh, honey, now come on. Don't be sorry. Just take it easy, that's all. That's what the doctor said.
I do feel better now. Much better.
Oh, who would have thought the day'd turn out like this? Stuck in a cheap motel across the street from the justice of the peace. We're not even married yet. And it'd be deliciously sinful if it weren't for this miserable room.
Jimmy.
What is it?
Oh, God. Jimmy. Help me.
What's the matter, honey? Is the pain again?
No, it's something else. Jimmy, I have to get up.
Oh, come on,
I have
stay
to
in
get
bed,
up.
darling. You heard the doctor.
I have to move.
Laura!
Jimmy! Oh, Jimmy!
Lord, you hit the wall.
I can't stop myself. Oh,
Laura, stop!
Hold me, Jimmy! Hold me! I can't stop
Come on,
myself!
don't fight me! Don't fight me! Stop! Flinging yourself around this way.
Oh, I can't help it. I can't. I have to move.
Go for the table!
What's happening to me? I have to get some control of myself. I don't belong to myself anymore.
Laura!
I can't tell you how sorry I am, Jimmy, but I also can't say that I'm surprised.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, my field is anthropology, but I'm not a complete stranger to the psychological sciences. In my opinion, Laura's problem is the result of a conflict, the difference between two worlds, the world of everyday reality and the dark world of superstition. No matter how much she laughs about it now, Laura grew up believing in devils and zombies and voodoo dolls.
Come on, I just can't believe that.
Well, that's why I feel so strongly that Laura, well, she just isn't ready for marriage. Well, here, let me show you something.
What is that?
It's a doll. Now, as you can see, it's a very good likeness of Laura. Prudence is an artist of sorts.
Your servant made this?
Yes. It's her hobby. It's a sort of sculpture. But what do you suppose Laura did when she saw this doll? She screamed. She was horrified. She thought it was a voodoo effigy. And whatever happened to the doll would happen to her.
No, Professor, I'm sorry. I just can't buy that explanation.
Yes, I was afraid that you wouldn't.
Laura's too sensible. This is all such childish
Would
stuff.
you care to test the theory?
Test it? How?
Yeah. Well, would you be willing to conduct a little experiment?
It might. Depends on what it is.
All right, I'll tell you. At exactly 9 o'clock this evening, I will take our little doll here and bring it to that fireplace. And I'll hold the doll over the flames, high enough so that it won't be scorched, but low enough so that it can feel the heat.
Oh, dolls don't feel.
No. Dolls don't. But Laura is another matter. You tell her what I'm doing. Tell her about the experiment. And then see how she reacts.
I'm sorry, I don't like politics, Professor.
I just want you to know what you're up against, Jimmy. Now remember, exactly 9 o'clock.
I don't understand you sometimes, Jimmy. I mean, I know you saw Eric. You told me you were going to.
All right, I saw him.
And?
He just told me a lot of nonsense, that's all.
About me? And my father?
About you and voodoo dolls.
What did he say exactly?
Laura, why did he have that doll made?
What doll?
You know. The one that looks like you.
What are you talking about?
You said you saw it, didn't you?
No. I never saw any such thing, Jimmy. He must have been joking. He must have been putting you on.
I saw the thing, darling.
You what?
I saw the doll. It was about this big and obviously hand-carved and... Well, it did look like you, Laura. Same long blonde hair, blue eyes, very much like you. That woman knows how to carve.
Woman? You mean Prudence? The servant?
Yes, that's what he said. She made the doll, and that you actually think... Laura, you can't believe in voodoo. Not really.
Oh, dear God. Then that explains it. That explains everything.
What?
The pain. In my chest, it was like the thrust of a needle.
Oh, now, come on.
And the way I lost control as if I did... Like I was being flung about like a doll. It was exactly like a helpless doll.
Now, cut that out. You know that is so. You're just convincing yourself of this nonsense. It's all in your mind.
But what else explains it, Jimmy? What else? As long as he has that doll, he has me.
Shh. Honey, please. That's crazy.
You've got to find it, Jimmy. You've got to get that doll away from me.
Okay, honey. Just give us a little time.
I don't have any time. If something happens to that doll, I'll die.
No, Laura, you can't really believe that. I want you to prove that isn't true, and you can tonight.
What do you mean?
That nutty friend of yours said he was going to try a little experiment tonight, just to prove the point to me. Well, I want you to disprove it.
What sort of experiment?
He said that exactly 9 o'clock he was going to take the doll and bring it to the fireplace.
Oh, no.
He said he was going to hold it over the flames high enough for the doll to feel the heat, and he said you'd feel it, too.
Oh, Lord, Jimmy. Well, what time is it?
It's 20 of 9. We'll get out of here.
No.
We'll go back to my place, and we will prove him wrong, darling. Prove him a liar.
Oh, God. I'm getting warm. I'm getting terribly warm, Jimmy.
That's your imagination.
No, it is...
Oh, honey, he said 9 o'clock. Wait a minute. My watch isn't going.
Jimmy, look. That clock on the wall, it is not...
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh, Jimmy, it's happening. It's really happening.
Laura, now, don't. Come on, you've got to fight this. It's only suggestion. It's hypnosis.
He's killing me. He is burning me alive.
Honey, no, darling, no.
Stop it, Jimmy. I'm on fire. I'm on fire.
Yes, the mind is a powerful weapon. And when it's turned against ourselves, it's the most dangerous weapon on earth. Can Laura Fletcher find a way to stop her own mind from tormenting her and possibly ending her life? At least she isn't alone in the struggle. We'll find out what Laura and Jimmy can do about the deadly doll that menaces her when I return shortly with Act 3. Professor Douglas's experiment has succeeded only too well. And it's also succeeded in convincing Jimmy Collins that something has to be done to save the sanity and even the life of the woman he loves. And that the best place to be in would be the home of Eric Douglas, his servant Prudence, and the doll itself.
Oh. Hello, Miss Fletcher.
Hello, Prudence. Is Professor Douglas home?
No, miss. He's gone.
Gone where?
On a lecture tour. He took the early morning train not half an hour ago.
When do you expect him back?
Not for days, he said.
Prudence, I have to talk to you. Please let us in.
Yes, miss.
Prudence, when my fiancé was here the other day, the professor showed him a doll.
A doll, miss?
He said you made it.
I made no doll, miss.
I saw it, Prudence. It was in a black cardboard box about this big. And he took it out of this break front here.
I know nothing of a doll, sir.
All right. Suppose we look for ourselves.
Please, sir.
Jimmy, is it there?
No, it's empty.
Please. Cannot allow this.
All right, where's the doll, Prudence?
I don't know.
Please, you have to help me, Prudence. You don't know what he's doing with that doll. He's making voodoo magic with it. Do you understand?
I am a Christian, Miss Fletcher.
You know what I'm talking about. He's putting a spell on me, Prudence. He's using that doll you made to make me do his bidding. He wants to stop me from marrying.
He thinks only of your happiness, miss. You are like his daughter.
He is torturing me. Would a father torture his own child?
You've got to help us find him, Prudence. You must know where he's staying.
I'm sorry. I know nothing.
All right. Then the least you can do is give him a message. You tell him for me, for both of us, that his game isn't going to work. that Laura and I are leaving too, and we're not coming back. He'll never see her again. Did you get that? No matter what he does, he'll never see her again. Did you get that? No matter what he does, he will never see Laura again.
Prudence? Prudence? Where are you?
Dear Professor, did you have a good tour?
Yes. No. But I don't remember. It was endless. Seems like far more than 3 days.
They were here, Professor.
Who?
Miss Fletcher and her young man. They came to see you and to find the doll.
You didn't let them?
No. It is still hidden.
Good.
The girl says you are torturing her.
Only for her own good, Prudence. I swear that. This man Collins is wrong for her, and I had to prevent the marriage.
Why, Professor?
Because her father asked me to watch over her, to protect her. That's why I asked you to make the doll, so that I could trick her into believing that I had some control over her. Nothing else would have worked.
It was not a trick.
Of course it was, Prudence.
No, Professor. The doll was made because Damballa commands. With her image, her hair, a drop of her blood. Now the girl and the doll have become sharers of the same soul.
Prudence, you're slipping back into the jungle. Doll has no powers. Laura reacted only to suggestion.
The doll is her. She is the doll. Only the sorcerer can break the spell.
I'm tired, Prudence. I can't cope with mumbo-jumbo tonight.
Professor, lift the spell from the doll.
Oh, for heaven's sake. There is no such thing, Prudence.
Call the girl. Tell her I will ask Damballa Uida to unchain her spirit from the doll.
No. I will not do anything of the kind.
Why? Because you don't want her to marry?
That's right.
Because you want her for yourself?
What kind of talk is that? I'm more than twice her age.
But you still want her. I have eyes. I have ears. I will call the girl. I will tell her that the doll is here. And that you will lift the spell from it.
Stop that. Put that phone down. Now, you stay out of this, you hear me?
I made the doll for you. Now I will unmake its evil.
I told you to put that phone down.
Sean.
Here, stop. You're scratching my face. Look what you've done, you witch. You've drawn blood.
I'm sorry. I did not mean...
You have meddled enough in my life. Now get out of here. I don't want to see your ugly face again. I want you out of here by tomorrow morning. Do you hear me?
Yes, Professor. I heard you.
A moment. Laura.
Hello, Eric. You know Jimmy Collins, of course.
What are you doing here?
Sorry to be such early arrivals, Professor. We wanted to make sure you didn't go off to another lecture this morning.
I have nothing to say to you, Mr. Collins.
Don't plan to stay long, Professor. Only until you give us that doll.
The doll?
That's right.
But for heaven's sake, you're really serious, aren't you? You really believe that doll has some mysterious powers.
It doesn't matter, Eric. I'd just feel better if you'd let me have it. I know it's here.
How do you know that? Who told you?
Prudence called me.
Prudence?
Yes, very late last night. She told us that the doll is in the hall closet. In a black box.
She lied to you. Woman's gone crazy. I had to fire her.
Want me to look in the closet, Professor?
How dare you? I could have you arrested for what you're doing.
Eric, please. We've been friends. Friends for such a long time.
That is a beautiful word, isn't it? Friends, almost as good a word as father. That is all I ever meant to you.
Oh, Eric.
Let's have the doll, Professor.
Oh, yes, the doll. The voodoo doll. Mr. Collins, I think that you are as mad as she is.
Maybe I am mad, Eric. But I am afraid of the doll. I can't help myself. So please let me have it.
I'll give you 1 minute to lead us to the doll, Professor.
Oh, and then what will you do? Pump me full of lead?
And I'll find it myself. In the course of it, I might break quite a few things. Quite a few things in the process. Things you may value.
All right, I will show you the doll. There. Is that what you're after?
It does look like me. I think I remember seeing it once before, but it's as if it was in a dream.
I'll take that, Professor.
Stop right there.
What?
Now, suppose I didn't give you the doll. Suppose I smashed its head instead.
Eric.
All I have to do is smash the head against this wall. One sharp blow, and the head is broken. The skull caved in. The pretty blue eyes shut forever. Huh? Shall I, Laura?
Eric, why are you doing this to me?
You smashed my life, didn't you? You didn't care what happened to me?
Oh, Eric, but I do care.
You walked out with him. You left me for him. Well, here's what he... Then... you, Laura.
Professor. Eric, what's the matter? Jimmy, what's the matter with him?
My chest...
Jimmy!
It's a heart attack. I think he's dead.
Oh, my God. Are you sure?
Look at his face.
Oh, no.
There's no sign of a pulse. He's gone, Laura.
Oh, no.
Lord, just like that. Must have been the excitement.
No, it was not.
Prudence.
The spell is lifted, miss. When the sorcerer dies, the spell dies with him.
What's that in her hand?
Prudence, what are you doing with that knife?
It was the only way, miss.
Wait a minute. She's got something else. Some kind of doll.
Prudence, you didn't.
His skin and his blood from my fingernails. His curse from my lips and heart.
Oh, Jimmy. How horrible. She killed him.
Oh, no, Laura, no. It was a coronary. Only a coronary. I think.
Well, personally, I don't think I'll ever trust a doll again. Not Raggedy Ann, or Betsy Wetsy, or even that paper doll they used to sing about. Of course, there's no question in my mind that Professor Douglas died of natural causes as opposed to supernatural. There's a great deal to be said for the power of suggestion, which, of course, is why you're about to hear the following suggestion. We hope that the story you just heard hasn't given you any ideas. That you're not all rushing out to the local toy store to buy up their supply of dolls in order to try some grisly experiments on your least loved ones. Take our word for it. It doesn't really work. But on the other hand, why do I have this sticking pain in my left shoulder? Our cast included Joanne Linville, Ross Martin, Virginia Gregg, and Carl Swenson. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
I'm E.G. Marshall. Once again, it's open house here on your dial for mystery and suspense and the excitement of the unknown. They say, whom the gods would destroy, they first make mad. Yes, they do say that. But these days, it would be quite possible to take the opposing view. One could also say, whom the gods would preserve, they first make mad. More and more, we find our world dominated by the senseless, the irrational, the incongruous, the incredible. And if this is the way things are truly headed, perhaps a touch of madness may be absolutely necessary for survival.
I'm sorry I crashed in on you like this, sir. Oh, I hope you're not injured. No, I'm fine. You're playing? I'll examine it in the morning. Then you'll join us for dinner, won't you? Well, thank you. And if you'd like to go to bed early, we have a room ready for your convenience. You're very kind. Well, we don't usually have much here in the way of entertainment. We're so far away from everything, but if you care to stay up tonight, you're very fortunate. Oh, really? Yes, you might enjoy it. Enjoy what? Tonight's entertainment. Oh, what is it? It might turn out to be a hanging.
Our mystery drama, A Scaffold for Two, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dan and stars John Beale and Brett Morrison. It is written, where men are innocent, laws are unnecessary. Where men are corrupt, laws are useless. It stands to reason, therefore, that laws are intended for that great mass of us who are in the middle, neither completely innocent nor entirely free of corruption. It's a subtle philosophical point, and there are times when Charles Farnsworth would enjoy discussing it over a drink and a roaring fire. However, this is not one of those times. For the last 2 hours, Charles Farnsworth has been fighting for his life. His tiny single-engine plane is being buffeted without mercy by a ferocious thunderstorm. His radio has gone dead. His instruments are useless. He has been blown off his course. He has no idea of where he can be. And the needle of his gas gauge is hovering at empty. And now, suddenly as it erupted, the storm subsides. There is brilliant moonlight, a bright, twinkling star. And just below him, he can make out a long, gently rolling meadow. He has no choice. He directs the faltering plane downward.
I guess I'm all right. I guess everything's all right, but where am I? Easy, boy. Okay. All right. Who's that out there? Oh, sir. I need help. Down, Alexander. Down, Cedar. Be quiet. Quiet! Now, sir. Move this way. Very slowly. That's fine. I assure you, sir, there's no need of that rifle. Far enough. Now, sir, what are you doing on this island? Was this an island? I didn't even know. How'd you get here? I was driven off course by the storm. What storm? Well, it ended a few miles north of here, or south of here, or even east or west. I couldn't tell you. I was forced down in a meadow, but... You all right, sir? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. And your plane? It seems to be okay. I I need gasoline.
Oh, you alone?
Yes, sir, all alone.
I see.
I wonder if I may impose upon your hospitality.
It's yours, sir.
Thank you.
Step this way, won't you? Oh, my name is Bennett. Franklin Bennett. Welcome to Bennett's Island.
My name is Charles Farnsworth.
Oh, you're just in time for dinner, Mr. Farnsworth. This is Mr. Farnsworth, who will spend the night with us. My daughter, Mayetta.
How do you do?
What is your sign, Mr. Farnsworth?
Sign? Well, Taurus, I think.
Mayetta.
But it's vital, Father. How's a man to be saved if he's unaware of his sign?
And this is my nephew, Conrad.
How do you do, sir?
Hello. Mr. Farnsworth was forced to land his plane in the South Meadow.
I knew it. I could tell he had the earth sound.
Mayetta, that's enough. Conrad.
Sir?
Is there gasoline in the garage pump?
It's full, sir.
Good. In that case, we can have Mr. Farnsworth up and away tomorrow morning. May I set another place at the table, please, for Mr. Farnsworth?
Yes, sir.
Conrad, you'll serve.
Yes, Uncle Frank.
Mix yourself, whatever you like. Everything's on the sideboard. Excuse me. Frank Bennett here. Oh, yes, Wayne. Yes, it's this evening, as we agreed. Midnight, officially. But get here before that. Good. I'll see you then. Good. You all right there, Mr. Farnsworth?
Oh, yes, just fine.
I'm afraid you'll have to excuse me.
For what, Mr. Bennett?
Well, I can offer you dinner and a bed, but regrettably I'll be unable to entertain you.
Oh, that's quite all right.
No, it's not all right. I realize I shall be remiss in my duties as a host. But I have a previous engagement. A matter of great importance.
Well, I hope I won't be in the way.
Oh, not at all, sir. You won't be in the way at all. Well, if everyone's had enough, Conrad, Mayetta, clear the table. Charles Farnsworth. Where have I heard that name before?
Well, I'm an attorney.
Oh, yes, you're that Farnsworth. You're the lawyer that gets all those guilty people acquitted.
Oh, that's impossible.
Impossible?
If a person is acquitted, it's proof that he's innocent.
Oh, you know what I mean.
No, I'm afraid I don't.
Why, you usually get these people rabble-rousers, mostly. They go around, they commit murder.
How do we know that?
Because we know it. We just know it. It's a matter of pure common sense.
Guilt or innocence is a matter of law.
Most of these people you defend are against the law. Most of them are out to overthrow the government. And anyway, they're dirty. They're unkempt.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
I would.
Mr. Bennett, I defend a great many people. Some of them happen to be associated with unpopular causes, and some of them, I admit, are personally quite unappealing, but what would you have? Everyone's entitled to counsel.
I know. It's just that I hate to see people get away with murder.
If they don't get away with it, if a judge and a jury acquits them, that means they didn't commit murder.
That's what's wrong with the system.
Well, you could also say that's what's right with the system.
Well, I'm doing something wrong right now. I'm having an argument. A serious argument with a man who's a guest under my roof. I apologize.
Oh, please, I don't feel in the least.
I'm a deep believer in the law, Mr. Farnsworth. And to me, the most sacred of all laws is hospitality. When a man is your guest, in no way should he be made to feel uncomfortable or under a strain. Forgive me for what I said to you before.
No, I felt in no way insulted.
That's very kind of you. Conrad, Mayetta, come in here, please. Mr. Farnsworth, I'll have to excuse myself for the night. I hope you understand.
Yes, of course.
Conrad, my guests are beginning to arrive. Show them into the library, will you?
Yes, sir.
And Mayetta, conduct Mr. Farnsworth to the guest suite. Now, Mr. Farnsworth, you must excuse me. I hope to see you at breakfast in the morning. Good night, sir.
Good night.
You want some more coffee?
Oh, no, thank you.
When I asked you your sign, I didn't mean the signs they have in the zodiac, you know?
I think so.
There are the 4 basic signs, and they're earth, air, fire, water.
Oh? Is this some new kind of science?
Oh, no. It's an old kind of religion.
I see.
It's mine. I'm the head priestess.
Are you?
Yes. I'm maybe the only one. You see, I don't know anyone else who's a member.
Oh.
No. Most of the folks we have around here are Methodists. We also have some Congregationalists and some Catholics and some Jews. But I can't find anyone who's a member of EWAF.
EWAF?
Yes. The 4 elements. Earth, water, air, and fire. So far, all we've got is Conrad and me.
Well, you can never tell. Maybe there will be more one day.
Oh, it's very nice of you to say that. Most people just laugh at me.
I'm sure they don't mean any harm.
I don't mind. You're a very nice person. You're not at all like most of the people who come to see Daddy.
Why do you say that?
Because you're a perfect example of the balanced EWAF. I see now. You don't have any sign. You have all 4 of them.
Oh, is that good?
Oh, that's perfect. You're in heavenly balance. Your fire and water, your earth and air, they don't fight each other. They work together in harmony. Didn't anyone ever tell you that before?
No, not that I can recall.
Well, as I was saying, most of the folks who come to see Daddy are unbalanced. They're usually too much of one thing. Now, Daddy himself, he's too much fire. Poor cousin Conrad, he's mostly earth.
Earth?
Yes. You know, it's like he's just there. Well, Daddy said to show you to the guest suite.
Yes, I believe so.
Now?
I suppose now's as good a time as any. Your father, as I understand, has other guests.
Yes. If we weren't on the island, you could go to a movie in town.
I think I'll just turn in.
All right. Come with me.
Well, this is quite a place you have here.
Daddy built it for Mother. Daddy fought in France during the war, and that's where he met Mother. She was French, you know. And he built her this chateau. That's what they called them in France.
I can see. It's lovely.
This is your suite.
I can only say it's magnificent.
You'll find everything you need. You have your private bath through there, pajamas and a robe in the closet.
Thank you very much, Mayetta.
That's all right. I so rarely meet a person who's in full balance.
Good night.
Look, if you're not sleepy, you could come with me later and watch. That is, if you'll promise to be very quiet.
Oh? What is there to watch?
Well, I'm not supposed to see it either. I'm not even supposed to know about it.
Know about what?
Why, the hanging.
The what?
The hanging. You know, when they hang a person. We're going to have one here, tonight.
Just like that. How would you like to blunder into this kind of lodging for the night? Charles Farnsworth looks at Mayetta. She's young, but not a child. It's true she babbles a bit and has several, offbeat ideas, but she seems sane enough. What's this about a hanging? Well, you'll just have to wait until I return shortly with Act 2. What we consider solid reality is usually, on close examination, a very thin crust. Civilization, rules, laws. We think these are the powerful defenses that protect our lives from anarchy. We rarely consider how quickly, how easily, all the laws and rules can suddenly be suspended.
Now, just a minute, Mayetta. Do you mean to tell me somebody's going to be hanged here?
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed.
But who? How? Why?
Well, who, that I don't know yet. But how? Well, they use a rope, you know, and a scaffold.
But why?
Well, they're holding a trial. Daddy summoned all those people here for a trial.
What kind of a trial?
I'm not sure I know. But the idea of a trial is to hang someone.
No, the idea of a trial is to find out.
But they've already got the scaffold built.
How do you know?
Because I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Yes.
But how can they hold a trial? This isn't a court of law.
That's Daddy's business. I would never question him about anything like that.
Marietta, do you realize what you're telling me?
What did I tell you?
About the hanging.
I wasn't supposed to say anything about that.
But
And since I wasn't supposed to say it, I didn't say it.
Marietta, please, now listen.
And since I didn't say it, then you don't know anything about it.
But I do.
And since you don't know anything about it, then it's not going to happen.
But you did tell me.
That's what EWAF is truly about. What you don't know about does not exist.
But you specifically said someone is going to be hanged here tonight.
I said it before I realized I shouldn't have said it. So no. I will unsay it, and it won't happen.
Marietta, this is... I don't know what to think.
That's why I like you, Mr. Farnsworth. You don't know what to think. Other people, unbalanced people, they know what to think. And they think I'm crazy, but I'm not.
All squared away, I see. Is everything satisfactory?
Yes, I've been having a most intriguing conversation with your daughter.
Oh? Well, she takes us to her mother. Her mother was French, and they like to talk in riddles, you know.
Do they?
Oh, yes.
Mr. Bennett, I feel I must discuss this matter with you.
Oh? What matter?
Mr. Bennett, do you intend to hang somebody tonight? I realize as I said it just how that must sound, but
Why do you ask?
Well, why is unimportant. May I have your answer?
Oh, whatever could have given you such an idea?
Well, your daughter mentioned it.
Oh. Also, Marietta said we're going to hang someone tonight. Well, she thinks so.
May I ask why?
I love my daughter, Mr. Farnsworth, but I'm not blind to what is obvious to everyone else.
And what is obvious?
Oh, you've seen it yourself. She's not like everyone else. You're not like everyone else, are you, Marietta, honey?
No, Daddy.
And you see things and hear things and believe things that other folks don't. Now, isn't that true, darling?
Yes, Daddy.
Yes. You just run along to bed now.
Yes, Daddy. Good night, Mr. Farnsworth.
Good night.
She has a problem, Mr. Farnsworth. She was born that way.
I'm sorry.
And I realize I'm in a very embarrassing position.
Well, let's say no more about it.
Well, you're probably wondering now what this gathering is about. Well, we're having a reunion tonight. My old army outfit. Each year, we become fewer and fewer.
Well, I hope you have a good time.
Oh, we will.
Sir, you spoke of the law of hospitality. All the obligations are not centered on the host. The guest is also obliged to make things easy.
Well, thank you. Well, I'll see you in the morning. Sleep well.
Good night.
Good night.
I was exhausted. It had been quite a day. I thought I'd sleep the moment my head touched the pillow, but for some reason I was wide awake. I kept wondering why sleep was eluding me so completely. Of course, I knew. I knew there was something mysterious going on in this house. Something was wrong. Maybe it wasn't as deadly as Mayette had claimed. But I felt certain it wasn't as innocent as her father had asserted. And I also knew that I wasn't going to rest until I found out. And so I fought it no longer. I got out of bed and dressed myself. And I walked quietly to the door. And I turned the handle. And that's when I discovered that it was locked. Locked from the outside. I walked to the window. And I discovered that I couldn't open it. It was a large casement window made up of many small panes. And as I examined them closely, I discovered that they were made of very heavy, leaded, apparently unbreakable glass. And now I knew with crystal clarity I was a prisoner. In the distance, I could hear the sound of approaching cars and men's voices. Something was about to happen. But if it were only an army reunion, why was I locked in this room? And then I heard it. A key was being inserted in the lock. And I could hear it turn. And the door opened slowly. Was someone coming after me? Who? And for what reason?
Mr. Farnsworth.
Marietta?
You just have to help.
What is it? Why have I been locked in here?
They're going to have a hanging.
But I thought you said...
That's before I knew who it was going to be.
Well, who is it going to be?
Cousin Conrad.
Conrad? But why?
Because they're holding a trial for him.
I have to keep asking why.
Because they held one over at Maple City 6 months ago.
Conrad was tried? What for?
Murder.
Murder? Whom did he kill?
Cousin Bertram. And you see, the jury said he was innocent.
Well, then what's this trial about?
Daddy didn't like the verdict, so he's holding a trial to get a different one.
We have to do something, but what?
Well, I was thinking you could take Cousin Conrad away from here.
How?
In your airplane.
Take off at night from that field?
They'll hang him.
Gas. I need gas.
We've got plenty of gasoline in the garage.
Where's Conrad?
He's waiting for the trial to start.
Then we'd better hurry.
Conrad?
Does Uncle Frank want me to come to the library now? He said he'd sent for me.
No, it's me and Mr. Farnsworth.
Conrad, what's supposed to be happening here tonight?
I'm to be tried for murder.
But I understand you've already stood trial in a court of law.
Yes, sir, but Uncle Frank doesn't think it was a fair trial.
Well, you were acquitted.
I know, sir, but... Well, he doesn't think the people of the state got a fair trial.
But
There's something to what he says.
What are you saying, Conrad?
Well, sir, I had a very smart lawyer. But the lawyer for the state, he really wasn't much good.
Well, are you innocent?
Oh,
Well, are you or aren't you? Did you kill him or didn't you?
I wanted to kill him. And that's the worst kind of imbalance, but... Well, that's really the worst kind of all.
That's right, because that's when all of your signs are just completely out of control.
No, but there's a difference between wanting to kill and killing.
Is there?
I wanted him. I wished him. He died.
All right. Why did you wish him?
Well, sir, because Uncle Frank wanted him to marry Cousin Mayetta.
Oh, and you were jealous?
Oh, no, jealousy. No, that's not it. That's against our religion.
Well, what were you?
Sir, I knew he would be mean to her.
Just tell me this. How did Cousin Bertram die?
Poison.
He was poisoned. And if I may maintain my sanity, I would assume that you were accused of the crime. Now, is that it?
Yes.
How was he poisoned?
Well, someone put poison into his iced tea. You see, we were all sitting around drinking iced tea.
Who is all?
See, me, Mayetta, Cousin Bertram, and Uncle Frank.
We'd better hurry. They'll be looking for Cousin Conrad soon. I'll go see if the coast is clear.
Well, you see, sir, Cousin Bertram was sipping on his drink. And suddenly he fell forward.
They accused you of putting the poison in the drink. Well, did you?
For Probably.
Please, Conrad, I have to know.
Well, you see, sir, I did direct poison thoughts against
But
it.
you can't kill a man with poisoned thoughts.
Now, that's not true. You and me, what are we?
We better get out of here.
But I'll take my punishment. But Cousin Mayetta, well, she says she doesn't like the way people look after they've been hanged, sir.
They're still in the library. Come.
No, wait. Just 1 minute.
What is it, Mr. Farnsworth?
Look, you realize what you two have said to me about a hanging. It's unbelievable.
But that doesn't mean that it isn't true.
Do you want proof?
Well, it would help.
We're headed that way anyhow. It's just in back of the garage.
What is?
Proof. We mustn't make noise. Right here. See? Some of Daddy's friends were here this afternoon. They put it together.
I can't believe it's a scaffold.
Yes, sir. See, there's the platform, and you walk up those steps, and they've already got the rope hanging from that crossbar. I heard Daddy say that was made out of mahogany. And you stand on a trapdoor.
No, that's enough. Now, hurry, let's get the gasoline. I'm going to fly you out of here, Conrad.
One moment, please, Mr. Farnsworth.
Daddy!
My associate's here, and as you can see, we're armed.
Mr. Bennett, I intend to take Conrad to my plane. Now, if you want to stop me, you'll have to shoot.
That's exactly what I'm prepared to do, Mr. Farnsworth.
Well, something has got to give. We already know enough about both men to realize that each is a person to be taken seriously. What we have here is the old story about the irresistible force and the immovable object. I shall return shortly with Act 3. Right now, on remote Bennett's Island, we are having what can be considered a confrontation. On one side, we have 12 men with guns. On the other, we have 2 men and a young lady who are completely unarmed. At first glance, the advantage would seem to be with the group that has the weapons. And a very grim and determined-looking bunch they are, too. But there are times when you may need more than a gun to win a fight.
Mr. Farnsworth, I said I would shoot you down if you took one step toward your airplane.
Yes, I heard you.
But before you take that first step forward, Mr. Farnsworth,
Yes?
you have to realize that you're committing each of us to a position he doesn't want to be in.
Well, what do you suggest?
Let's discuss it.
You intend to hold a lynching. I don't see what's negotiable.
It's a trial.
You can't do it.
This is to be a real trial. What he had before was just a farce.
The law of this country has clear procedures for trials. You're obviously interfering with his civil rights. We have a federal involvement.
Tell me more.
Each one of you who is involved in this activity will be arrested.
All right, I listen to you. Now you listen to me. You lead here. You tell that story, and who do you think is going to believe you?
Who? Oh, I see.
Yes. I'm the biggest taxpayer in the county. I own a mill that's the largest employer in Maple City.
Yes?
Well, I hope that you're beginning to get the picture. The people here with me, all upstanding, law-abiding citizens. Law-abiding. We're interested in seeing that the laws aren't twisted and perverted. We want laws that punish the guilty. We'll deny every word you say.
Upstanding, law-abiding, respectable citizens and willing to commit perjury.
Who's going to believe?
Is this what you wanted to discuss?
Now, you give me your word of honor, Farnsworth. Your oath as a gentleman. That you'll never mention any of this to a living soul.
And I thought you didn't have to worry about all that.
Well, why take chances? Give me your word. And you can gas up and fly out of here.
Alone?
Alone.
You know I can't do that.
Oh. Then I'm afraid you can't leave this island. Wayne, Bob, a couple of you. Get some rope. Tie him up. Mr. want you to understand my position.
Yes, I understand it. I just don't agree.
Well, it's a little complicated. This whole business has become more complicated than I guess most of us bargained for.
What business?
The redressers of injustice.
The redressers of injustice?
Yes, that's the name of our organization. We felt, a group of us felt, that there were people who were getting away with murder, and so we decided...
You decided to take the law into your own hands?
Yes. Where it would be safe. Where it would be honored.
Mr. Bennett, we really have nothing to discuss.
Just a minute.
Tell me why you want to lynch your nephew, Conrad.
I said you didn't understand, and obviously you don't. I love that boy.
And you have a remarkable way of showing it.
Listen, we formed this organization, as I said. And this is the second time we've met.
Oh. So that scaffold has been used before.
Yes, it has. You remember reading about a man who murdered a farmer and his wife and their 4 children? Just murdered them for no reason. You remember that, don't you?
Yes, I think so.
Well, everybody knew he did it. He was seen there. He even bragged about it later on. And he was tried. And he was freed, finally. And you know why?
No.
Because of some legal mumbo-jumbo.
Come, Mr. Bennett, I'm sure you can do better than that.
It all had to do with the fact that he wasn't arrested properly. That his confession hadn't been obtained properly. Nonsense like that.
Well, it's hardly nonsense.
He killed 6 people in cold blood. And a court of law said, go free.
And therefore you took the law into your own hands.
Yes, we did. And before you say another word, let me ask you if you remember that man's name.
No.
It was Wayne. George Wayne. And his cousin, Gordon Wayne, is a member of this committee. That should prove something.
Well, it proves that some of the greatest crimes can be committed in the name of sincerity.
Mr. Farnsworth, I need your help.
My help?
Yes. Let me tell you the situation here. You see, we started something that looked very good in the beginning. You know.
Yes, I know.
But now, some of the children, well, I guess it's like everything else. People lose interest, change their minds, and then there's you.
Me?
Yes, what to do about you? Unless we kill you. And there's not an awful lot of stomach for that. We're not just murderers, you know.
Well, you do have a good opinion of yourselves.
We're law-abiding citizens, and we want to protect...
Yes, I know. You said it so often, you actually believe it.
Now, the reason we're trying my nephew, Conrad...
Yes?
Well, I admit that there was no love lost between Conrad and Bertram. And Conrad couldn't. Actually, he had the motive. They were both in love with my daughter, Mesa. And Conrad was going to lose out.
You're sure of this? She seems quite fond of him.
Well, I had decided in Bertram's favor, and that was the end of that.
Oh, why had you favored Bertram?
You mean it's not obvious? How could Conrad take care of her? He's I may just as well say it. He's as crazy as she is. But Bertram was sane, practical. True, he did have a heart condition, but with care you can live with those things forever.
Well, Conrad may have had a motive, but that doesn't mean he was guilty.
Well, what happened was, he was acquitted at the trial. And a lot of people kicked up a fuss. They
Yes?
Well, they said it was my wealth, my influence that got him off.
Pardon me if I enjoy this irony. Well, was your wealth and influence a factor?
Never. But you know how it is. When a rich man's relative gets a murder charge, people talk. There's discontent.
Yes, I see.
And I had helped organize this organization.
Oh, yes, the redressers of injustice.
Yes, the redressers held a meeting and demanded action. Now, what could I say? It would look as if I were trying to make an exception out of Conrad. And Gordon Wayne, he said that if the redressers could try his cousin, they could try my nephew.
Well, you're in quite a position there.
I tell you, I wish I were out of it. Finished and done with the whole thing. And so do most of the others. But Gordon Wayne demands that if... Well, I can see his point.
And so you will sacrifice Conrad?
Oh, no. He's going to get a fair trial.
Why do you say that?
Because you're going to represent him.
But I can't. I can't legitimize a lynching session.
Please, Mr. Farnsworth, don't give me all that law. Just find us a way out.
No, I don't see why Conrad should have a lawyer.
Just a minute, Wayne. Just a minute.
Now, you wait a minute. I thought the reason this committee was to get together was to get away from lawyers and their shenanigans.
A man's entitled to counsel.
I object to that.
All right, we'll put it to a vote. All in favor of Conrad's having counsel, raise your hands. All opposed? The vote's 9-3 in favor, counting mine. All right, why don't we proceed? Who wants to speak against Conrad?
What's to speak about? Now, we know Conrad hated Bertram. Did you, Conrad? Well, it was my one weakness, sir. Now, the idea of losing Mayetta drove him wild. Didn't it, Conrad? Yes? Okay, now, Conrad, did you or did you not poison Bertram's drink? I did, sir. Well, then why isn't that the whole ball of wax?
Just a moment.
Here comes the lawyers to steal it now.
What do you mean by poison?
I poisoned him.
Do you mean you poisoned him with a drug or a chemical of some sort? I understand a heavy dose of poison was found in his system. Did you administer it?
Yes, sir.
How?
Does that matter? For crying out loud, the man admits he did it.
How, Conrad?
Well, my poison thoughts toward him, sir. It turned into actual poison.
Did you at any time place into his glass a pill, a powder, a liquid, a substance of any sort? Did you?
No. I didn't do that.
How did the poison get into Bertram's glass?
Conrad, put it there.
How? When? Where? Now, where did the iced tea come from?
The kitchen. Bertram said, I'd like some iced tea. We were all sitting out on the patio.
Yes, and I said, I'll tell the cook to make some.
And Bertram said nobody makes better iced tea than I do.
And he went inside. And a couple of minutes later, he called for Mayetta to come in and help him serve.
We heard all this at the trial.
But it is important, Mr. Wayne.
So Mayetta went inside and came back carrying the tray. She set it down, and Bertram set a glass in front of everyone's place.
And then what happened?
Well, there was a sound of an explosion from the rear of the house. So we ran back to see what it was.
Who ran back?
All of us.
In any particular order?
I remember. Uncle Frank first.
Yes, and then Conrad, and then Bertram and Mayetta.
And what was the explosion?
Oh, the cook's little boy. He'd found a firecracker left over from the 4th of July.
I see. And then what did everybody do?
Well, we all went back to the patio. And everyone picked up his glass and started to drink. And then, in a few minutes, Bertram just keeled over.
Then how did the poison get into Bertram's glass?
Conrad, put it there. He admitted it.
But when? And how did he have a chance? He couldn't do it in the kitchen. Only Bertram and Mayetta were there. He couldn't have done it on the patio because someone would have seen him.
He did it when they went out to investigate the noise.
How? He was second man out. Bertram and Mayetta were still on the patio.
When they came back.
Did you all come back together?
Yes, we did.
This is the same kind of hocus pocus the lawyer pulled at the trial. Now, Conrad admitted it.
He can admit anything he pleases. It doesn't work unless and until we can show he put the poison in the glass.
The thing was put into the drink after the glasses were set out.
No, it wasn't.
Mayetta, what are you saying?
Yes, Mayetta?
Well, you all should have asked me. Nobody ever asked me before. As I came into the kitchen, I saw Cousin Bertram place a pill into one of the glasses.
A pill?
Well, he always took pills for his heart. I didn't think anything of it. But then we set the glasses down. I saw him put the one with the pill in it in front of Cousin Conrad. Uh-oh, I thought. He made a mistake. So I just put the glass with the pill in it back in front of his chair.
You changed the glasses?
Oh, yes. I was going to call it to his attention. But everybody started to run to the back of the house, so I just changed them myself.
But, Mayetta, that was not a pill. That was the poison that killed him.
Oh, no. No, Conrad is right. The poison that killed him was Conrad's mean and unbalanced thoughts. But Conrad has atoned. He's balanced now.
Mayetta, why would Bertram want to kill Conrad?
Oh, Bertram. Bertram was unbalanced. Everyone knew that. He was so angry because I told him I could never marry him as long as Conrad was alive.
What? We love each other so much.
Gentlemen, the defense rests.
It's tempting to consider people like Mayetta and Conrad as being somewhat out of focus. But how clear, how sharp are your motivations and mine? I may tell you that the redressers of injustice have been disbanded. That is, I think they have been. The weirdest of urges and desires and motivations can still make any number of people go bump in the night. Be sure of nothing, except that I shall be back in a few moments. As they say, you take the law in your own hands only to manhandle it. We hope Mr. Bennett has learned his lesson, as have Mr. Wayne and the rest of the redressers of injustice. Mr. Farnsworth won what he considers his most important case, but it's a secret between him and us, since he doesn't talk about it in public. You'll learn a great many more fascinating secrets when you visit with us again. Our cast included John Beale, Brett Morrison, Denise Alexander, and Casey Kasem. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
Have you tried Revlon's new Milk Plus 6, the first salon-tested shampoo and conditioner? So Advanced Revlon has a patent pending. Milk Plus 6, rich organic formula with 7 natural shampooing and conditioning ingredients. Cleans without stripping, restores pH balance, mends split ends, frees tangles, adds healthy luster. Milk Plus 6, now available in 3 formulas for normal, dry, and a brand new formula for oily hair. The newest concept in total hair care. Get it at your favorite supermarket or wherever fine hair care products are sold.
Ice cream is better than anything in the world. Better in a crunchy cone, better simply left alone, better on a finger bone. Melted down by the pound, softest world, licked and twirled. Ford ice cream is better than anything in the world.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Welcome to the world of your over-self. What is the man talking about? Over-self. What's that? Well, you might say it's that part of you where your imagination resides. The truth is that, according to any number of religionists, you don't exist at all. Only your imagination. When you refer to myself, you're actually talking about an illusion created by your over-self. Confusing? Certainly is to me. And it was more than confusing to Amanda Phillips.
You are not a ghost, Morley?
Of course not, Amanda.
I dare say you would call me a ghost, but ghosts don't really exist. They're people. They simply live on a different plane of existence.
I don't know what to say.
But then don't say anything. That's the trouble with people on your plane. They say too much.
But these different planes of existence, Morley, it's confusing. I simply don't understand.
You will, my darling. You will. If you dare.
Our mystery drama, Picture on a Wall, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by George Lothar and stars Diane Baker. It is sponsored in part by Contact, the 12-hour cold capsule, and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
There's a fresh new spirit sweeping the land. A free spirit that demands good products. Products that satisfy your sense of good taste and desire for economy. But above all, products that perform. Buick has been touched by this spirit. And this year, our crisply designed, solidly built Buicks will bring joy even to the most demanding of free spirits. The 1975 Buicks, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
Hi, my name is Sammy Davis, Jr. Would you believe that a whole generation has grown up since the first American kids went out to trick-or-treat for UNICEF on Halloween? In those 20 years, they've helped the United Nations Children's Fund provide better food, medical care, education for millions of children in developing countries. This Halloween, our kids will be on your doorstep again. Please drop a few coins in the orange box. For them, Halloween is a lot of fun. For UNICEF's children, it's a chance for a better life. Thank you. Peace.
How many things can your family do together? Go to a movie? Go to a circus? Go on a picnic? Go on a vacation? Face it, in today's America, family fun is hard to come by. And with busy schedules, just getting the family together is not an easy thing to do. How would you like to have a little family fun every week? How would you like to learn together? How would you like to grow together? And how would you like to help your son get an edge on growing up? Cub Scouting is helping families like yours be a family. It sure helped ours. Today's Cub Scout program is just as much for families as it is for boys. So when your son wants to join a Cub Scout pack, remember to take along the whole family. That's what Cub Scouting is all about. For the Cub Scout pack nearest you, call the Boy Scouts of America. They're in the white pages of your phone book.
No, I didn't say you don't exist, that you are not really yourself. Those who devote lifetimes to the study of what we are and why we are here, who try to understand God and our relation to Him. I'm talking, of course, of priests, ministers, Buddhist monks, even philosophers. They say it. They say that the self is your conscious, the over-self, your subconscious, and the super-self, your unconscious. You understand? If you do, you're far more knowledgeable than I am, because I don't understand at all. And as I said earlier on, neither did Amanda Phillips.
Well, here it is, Amanda. Hope you like.
Gil Franklin, it's beautiful.
I figured it would grab you, even though you did say you wanted to live in Greenwich Village.
Yes, I did. All my life in Gladesville, Iowa, I've yearned to be an actress living in Greenwich Village. But this, it's so lovely. What?
May I come in?
Oh, Mrs. Broley, of course. Let me introduce you. Amanda Phillips, rising young star of the Broadway Theater, or soon to be anyway. Mrs. Broley, landlady.
Delighted to meet you, dear. Is everything all right?
Oh, it couldn't be more so. I never expected to find anything as, well, really enchanting as this. Not at what I can afford to pay anyhow. It is only $45 a week, isn't it?
Yes.
How can you afford to let it go at that? A place like this, furnished so nicely, those beautiful paintings on the walls, especially that big one over the fireplace, and the garden. You can walk straight from this room into the garden. It's just lovely. I should think you could rent this for 2 or 3 times what you're asking.
Perhaps so, but... Yeah, well, you see, dear, I'm not only extremely old, but I'm extremely particular about whom I rent to. And as your fiancé will tell you...
Mr. Franklin isn't my fiancé, Mrs. Brody.
Oh, I thought...
I have hopes, Mrs. Broley. High hopes.
Well, now, you're such a nice man. I hope you realize them. Because certainly Miss Phillips is a most attractive and desirable... something wrong, Miss Phillips?
That smell.
Smell?
Aroma, I should say. A scent. The scent of lavender.
Why, it's a cologne I use. Yes, a cologne, lavender. Now, if there's anything I can do to help you get settled in, dear, anything you need, you just pick up the telephone.
Just to pick it up?
It connects to a switchboard. I'll answer. Well, make yourselves comfortable.
Strange.
What?
The smell of lavender. I didn't smell it until at least several minutes after she came in here. And another thing, it seemed to come from that direction, out there in the garden. And Gil,
Yes?
she's gone, but the scent, it's stronger.
You're imagining things. I don't smell anything. And no, I don't have a cold.
Very strange.
Look, I've got to get back to the office, or the law firm of Belding and Maxwell will be firing their youngest partner. But I'll see you for dinner tonight, okay?
Very okay.
Pick you up at 7.
Well, better unpack my bag, put things away. That scent. It must be coming from the garden. Locked. And no key.
Yes, Miss Phillips.
Mrs. Broley, the French doors into the garden, they're locked.
Yes, dear. I keep them locked.
You do?
For your protection. You see, anyone who wanted to could get over the fence around the garden and, well, an ounce of prevention, you know.
Yes, but I want to use the garden. What I can see through the French doors, it's enchanting. That fountain.
The fountain doesn't work, I'm sorry to say. Hasn't in years.
Even so, it'd be a nice place to sit. Those stone benches and everything. Would you bring me the key, please?
Why, yes, if I can find it.
Find it?
I'm not quite sure what I did with it, but don't you worry now. I'll do what I can to find it. I certainly shall.
Well, I just never.
Never what, man?
Oh, what? Who are you?
Norcross is my name. Morley Norcross. Do please forgive me. I had absolutely no intention of startling you.
I turn around to find you leaning casually against the French doors. The open French doors. And you... How? How did you get here?
Over the fence, you might say.
And how did you open those locked doors?
I didn't find them locked.
Well, I did.
Perhaps it's one of those knobs. You can open them from one side, but not the other. Let's have a look, shall we?
I'd rather not, if you don't mind.
I'm sorry. You're angry with me. I've offended you, Amanda.
You know my name.
Tit for tat. You know mine.
But you told me yours.
Then it's altogether possible that rather huge label on your luggage told me yours.
Of course.
See?
For a moment, well, you won't believe it, but I thought you might be some kind of ghost or something.
I believe it. Might I have the pleasure of showing you your garden? If you will step through your French doors into your garden, then, Miss Phillips, you can all but smell fall in the air.
And lavender. Yet I don't see any in the garden.
My cologne, I dare say.
You use lavender cologne?
Yeah, old-fashioned, isn't it? For a man, I mean.
Why, perhaps, but I like it, Mr. Norcross.
Oh, I say, call me Morley. If we're going to be friends, that is. And I hope we are. Do you?
Why not?
Why not, indeed?
Beautiful fountain, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it's beautiful. It's simple. A peasant girl holding a tilted pitcher on her shoulder. A pitcher from which the water used to pour into that large stone basin at her feet.
Used to?
60 years ago, or so, yes.
60? Well, how do you know that?
Oh, how do I?
Well, yes. You can't be more than, 40, say.
Thank you, my dear.
So how would you know that this fountain hasn't, fountained in more than, 60 years?
16 years, I said. 16. And, well, I know because I once lived where you're about to live.
In that service flat, living room and kitchenette?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what did you do? What kind of work?
I was a dramatic coach.
You don't mean it. A dramatic coach?
An excellent one, I might say.
Would you, well, I hardly dare ask this, but, would you coach me?
Of course. I fully intended to.
You?
Yes.
Oh, now, Mr. Norcross.
Morley?
Morley. Well, you might have got my name off the luggage label, but you couldn't possibly know that I want to be an actress.
No?
No. What is it?
Ever read Sherlock Holmes stories?
No.
That's too bad. They're fascinating. Holmes could look at someone he'd never seen in all his life before and tell him everything about himself. I was an avid reader of Holmes, and somehow I picked up the technique. For example, your makeup.
Oh, what about it?
Unless I'm mistaken, on your cheeks, that's panistic rosy glow, isn't it?
Yes.
And a touch of daylight orange in the corner of each eye.
You're amazing.
Of course, on stage, you'd use vermilion, but for daytime wear, you're most astute. And then, of course, your clothes are a giveaway. To say nothing, my dear, nothing of your warmth.
Unbelievable, Morley.
My elementary what? Elementary.
Would you like some tea?
Do you have any? I mean, you just moved in.
In my suitcase.
Then I'd love it.
Come along inside.
No, I'll sit here. I'll sit here. It's such a pleasant afternoon.
I'll be as quick as I can. Yes? Come in. Oh, Mrs. Brawley.
Found the key to the French doors, my dear.
Well, thank you. Though I am not sure I'll need them now.
Oh, I'm glad you've decided to leave them locked. Much safer.
But I haven't decided to leave them locked. As you can see, the doors are...
As I can see what?
Closed. I didn't close them. And if Morley had, I'd have heard him.
Morley? Did you say Morley?
Mr. Morley Norcross. He's sitting in the garden by the fountain.
There's no one sitting in the garden, Miss Phillips.
No one? Why, he's gone. And the door's locked.
Of course.
Why are you looking at me like that, Mrs. Broley?
Miss Phillips, finding this key put a very old woman to considerable trouble. Now, I don't mind that. I'm accustomed to it and delighted to make my tenants as comfortable as possible. But I don't like having games played on me, Miss Phillips. I don't enjoy being made a fool of. There are the keys you ask for. Please take care to lock those doors before retiring at night.
But, Mrs. Broley...
Amanda, you were tired, beat. You probably stretched out on that couch to rest and fell off to sleep. You dreamed it all. You had to.
I don't remember lying down, Gil. I didn't. I started to unpack, and then the scent of lavender came to me even stronger than before. It came from the garden. I tried to go into the garden, but found the doors locked. And so I called Mrs. Broley.
Yes, you told me all this. But, sweetheart, it couldn't have happened. It just couldn't.
Well, if it didn't... Oh, I don't know. I just don't know.
Neither do I. One thing I do know, though. I'm taking you out for the best dinner you ever had. You need it.
I guess I do. Won't be a minute. Put on a new face.
Okay. Know something?
What?
I did all right by you, finding this place. Comfortable, homey. Even the paintings on the wall, not the usual crummy stuff you find in a place like this. They're pretty good art. This one over the fireplace is a knockout.
I haven't had a chance to look at it, really.
It's by, I don't know, some name here at the bottom. Can't make it out. Dated, I can make that out. 1909. It's called The Dramatic Coach.
Oh?
Shows him, the coach, teaching a girl how to act. Very handsome guy. Tall, wavy chestnut hair, worn kind of long. Blue eyes, I think. Gray at the temples, strong nose. Very strong nose. Oh. Ready so soon?
Let me see that.
The painting?
Yes, the... Huh?
Amanda, what is it?
The man in the painting. The dramatic coach, Gil. That's Morley Norcross.
Well, we may be talking about the self, the over-self, and the super-self, but so far as I'm concerned, Morley Norcross is a ghost. Now, maybe he isn't. Only my opinion. But the things going on in that 9th Street flat, the things that happened to Amanda in that garden, you ask me, they're more than strange. They're uncanny. I wouldn't be concerned, except I remember Amanda saying she felt scared. I don't like that. It worries me. I'll be back shortly for Act 2.
Give your hand to a friend. Give your heart to your love. But give your cold to contact. The sooner the better.
The common cold is a rotten thing. You miss so much. Sneezing, drips, and congestion can drag you down. Then, ask yourself the contact question. 6 or 3 or 1? You'd need 6 cold tablets, 2 every 4 hours, or 3 ounces of Cold's liquid, 1 every 4 hours, or just 1 contact for up to 12 hours continuous relief of those symptoms. That's daytime, then nighttime relief. Both the others have things for aches and fever, and the liquid, something for coughs. Not found in Contact 600 Tiny Time pills.
Give your cold to contact.
6 or 3 or 1. Take Contact. Only as directed.
Hot dogs, Armour hot dogs. What do kids want on Armour hot dogs? Mustard, ketchup, lots of relish too. Pickles, onions, even peanut butter too on hot dogs.
Peanut butter?
Armour hot dogs.
Sure, kids and moms love them on hot dogs because they're made with fine meat. No cereals, no extenders, 100% government inspected.
Hot dogs, Armour hot dogs. The dogs kids love to bite. Yeah.
If at times you suffer arthritis minor pain and its stiffness, get Deep Strength Arthritis Pain Relief Rub.
Deep Strength is made especially to give fast, temporary pain relief, so you can move more easily.
Deep Strength's strong, concentrated warmth vanishes deep into skin, increases blood circulation over the painful area.
Brings relief for hours.
Get Deep Strength Arthritis Pain Relief Rub, the modern rub from Musterol.
We're involved with an experience having to do with the occult, the esoteric. Or rather, lovely young Amanda Phillips is. As we know, she has come to New York City from Gladesville, Iowa, hopefully to become a successful actress. One can expect all sorts of things to happen to one in the Big Apple, of course. But what has already happened to Amanda on her first day is, well, to say the least, odd.
The man in the painting is Norcross? The man you think you met out there in the garden?
Gil, I know you think I'm spaced out.
Oh, no, I just think you dreamed it all. Fell asleep and dreamed.
Dreamed about a man who was the living image of the man in that picture? A dramatic coach to boot?
Well, it figures, doesn't it?
What do you mean it figures?
Well, there he is in the painting. The painting is titled The Dramatic Coach. Your eyes may have just glanced at it, but your brain, it registered you clearly. You were tired, worn out from your trip. You stretched out to rest, fell asleep, and, voila, dreamed of the man in the painting. The man who said he was a dramatic coach.
Well, I don't remember falling asleep. But what you say makes sense. That's what must have happened, I guess.
Sure. And speaking of getting rest, young lady, you've had a long, tiring day, so I'm going to split.
Oh, it's only 10 o'clock, Gil. You don't have to...
No, you're tired. And now that I've got you here in New York, you can count on seeing a lot of me, if you want to.
Oh, of course I want to.
You sound as if you really mean that, Amanda.
Oh, Gil. Sweetheart, you know how I feel about you. It's just that...
The great white way beckons. It's a career on Broadway or nothing.
No, a career on Broadway or marriage and kids. Oh, Gil, darling, look, I've got to try it first. Got to satisfy myself that I've got talent or I haven't. That I can make it or I can't. That... Look, I've just got to have my chance. Be patient, please.
For you will outdo the patience of Job. Good night, honey.
Good night, my darling. Oh, I am tired. Into bed, Ethel Barrymore Phillips. What? Lavender. The scent of lavender again. From the garden. He's there. Sitting by the fountain. And I'm not sleeping. Not dreaming. Oh, locked. Keys. Morley?
Amanda.
What are you doing here at this hour?
Ah, it's such a beautiful evening. Full white moon.
Yes.
Isn't it an enchantment? The jet black buildings tall against the night sky. Lights shining yellow and orange in windows here and there. And here, right here in the midst of it all, a small oasis of peace and quiet, loveliness.
You keep talking like that, Morley, and you will cast a spell over me.
I will, won't I? Amanda, do you mind my coming here of an evening, now and then? I won't, if you say no.
Well, no, I suppose it's all right. You come when you want to.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you.
Morley?
Yes?
There's a painting over the fireplace. It's called The Dramatic Coach. And the man in the painting, the coach, looks exactly like you.
Yes. Yes, he does. It was painted by Scott Costain in 1909. The man in the painting is my grandfather, whose name was also Morley Norcross.
Oh.
You didn't... You didn't think...
Yeah, I'm afraid I did.
No, you couldn't have.
But, look, if you haven't lived here in 16 years, you said?
Yes, 16.
Well, what's the painting doing there now?
You have no doubt heard of actors being forced to leave their luggage behind because of non-payment of rent.
And you? Oh, Morley.
But it's quite all right, Amanda. It's quite all right, especially since I can look at it almost as much as I want to. I can take a peek now and then through the French doors.
You poor man. You love that painting, don't you?
You're very perceptive. Yes, I do love it. As much as I loved this fountain.
The fountain?
Yes. Did Mrs. Broley tell you? No. I don't suppose she did. There's a legend goes along with this fountain.
A legend?
It's rather tragic.
All the better. The more romantic.
Perhaps. A man, someone who lived in that flat where you live now, as I lived, a man committed suicide at this very spot.
Oh, no. Why?
I think the phrase of the time was unrequited love.
Oh, Morley, that is romantic.
It didn't seem so then.
What?
I mean, say, the man must have felt the very depths of misery, experienced the most frightful emotional horrors to kill himself. He committed the greatest sin known to man. Oh, God.
Suicide?
No. Despair. And in despairing, renounced his faith in God. No one who believes in God, truly believes, can ever give way to despair. Amanda, you remember that.
Yes, Morley, I shall.
As for the legend, the fountain ran red with blood. His blood. And then it stopped flowing. Just stopped. They've tried to get it flowing again and again, but they have failed every time. According to the legend, It never will flow again until someone, somewhere, sometime, does something so supremely unselfish, so totally and completely selfless, that the sin of suicide committed here is paid for.
Beautiful. So beautiful.
And when that happens, if ever it does, the fountain will gush forth once more. I was wondering...
Yes?
Would you have any objection if I came in, only for a moment, to have a closer look at that painting?
Why, of course not. Come along.
Thank you, Amanda.
Your grandfather, was he a dramatic coach, too? Or did he just pose for
No. He coached actors and actresses just as I do.
Well, there it is.
Yes, there it is.
Amazing, the resemblance.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Was your grandfather, was he the man who killed himself in the garden?
Yes.
And she, the girl in the painting.
Oh, he loved her. He loved her. And she loved him. Or so she let him believe. She was one of his pupils. Beautiful. Talented. I can't tell you how beautiful. How talented.
Oh, I shouldn't think you could, since you weren't born yet.
Yes, that's quite true. It's only hearsay.
Well, what happened?
Well, she began to get rather good parts and began to be known. And, well, she met a wealthy man and fell in love with him. Or some said his money.
Oh, dear, it must have been tragic.
It was more than I could bear.
You?
Oh, my grandfather, of course.
But you said more than you could bear.
My imagination. I have a flair, I have a talent for placing myself in a situation of becoming the people involved. I imagine myself. Well, you've played the game called imagination, of course.
No, I've never even heard of it.
It's a wonderful game. And incidentally, extremely helpful to an actor or actress. Would you care to play it?
Well,
Let's do. Now, let's imagine ourselves to be, well, those two people in the painting.
All right. How do we go about it?
First, look closely at the painting.
Mm-hmm.
Try to see every detail. Every detail. For instance, the furniture.
Old-fashioned, high-backed couch with brocaded upholstery and antimacassars.
That's right.
And the table lamps, beaded lamps they call them, I think.
That's right. And gas jets on the walls. Notice?
How could I help but notice? I feel as if those lamps are actually lit. As if the gas jets are really glowing. As if I'm in the room with him. His arms around me, his lips close to mine.
Go on.
It's all so real. I am that woman in the painting.
You are. You have become her. You have become Iris Jordan.
Iris Jordan?
That was her name. Is her name because you bring it to life again. Iris. Oh, Iris.
No.
Iris,
what are you doing?
Darling,
Let me go.
I love you.
Molly. Mr. Norcross.
Please, Iris.
Unhand me, sir.
Iris.
You hear me, sir? Unhand me.
Please.
I've told you I no longer love you. I love another, Thomas Broley, and I'm going to marry
Don't do
him.
this to me, Iris, I beg you.
Miss Phillips.
I beg you,
open the
don't.
door.
I can't bear it.
Miss Phillips.
I'll kill myself. Do you hear me? I'll kill myself.
Miss Phillips. Miss Phillips. What is...
Why were you crying out like that?
I guess I got carried away, but we were only playing a game.
A game? We?
Morley Norcross and... Why, he's not here. Mrs. Broley? Broley? Is your first name Iris?
Oh, what if it is?
Were you the girl in that painting?
I think you're out of your mind.
You were the girl in that painting, weren't you? You were an actress. And you were in love with Morley Norcross, but you jilted him for a man named Broley. Thomas Broley.
Miss Phillips, I will ask you to vacate these premises in the morning.
This room, that garden. They're haunted, aren't they?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do. Not only the room and the garden, but that painting, all haunted by the ghost of Morley Norcross, the man you loved and then jilted more than 60 years ago. That's why you rent this place so cheaply? $45 a week. Tenants just don't stay here very long, do they? How long has it been since the last tenant, Mrs. Rowley? How long?
Well, more than a year.
I see. What happened to the last tenant?
Found in the garden. She'd been strangled.
And that's why you weren't able to rent the place?
No. The tenant before...
Found strangled?
Yes, Oh, my dear child, I only pretended to be angry with you and demanded you to leave to save your life.
After letting me rent the place?
I hoped the haunting was over, but I see now it isn't. Morley's ghost will haunt this place, haunt me till the moment I die. You must go in the morning.
No.
No.
I'm not afraid of ghosts, Mrs. Broley. But more than that, I don't want to leave. Don't ask me why. I don't know.
I'm afraid I do.
What?
Because you've done what I'm almost sure the others did. They couldn't bring themselves to leave either. And they didn't know why. Nor did I then. But I think I'm beginning to know that. You've fallen in love with Morley Norcross, Miss Phillips. You've fallen in love with a ghost.
Well, there's a twist for you. Has Amanda fallen in love with the ghost of Morley Norcross? Or is some other power, some other force at work? Let's not forget that we've been talking about not ghosts, but the baffling, the mysterious complexities of the human mind. I'll return shortly with Act 3.
When you say Budweiser, when you say Bud, you said a lot of things nobody else can say. When you say Bud, you've gone as far as you can go to get the very best. Yeah. When you say Bud, you tell the world you know what makes it all the way. When you say Bud, you say you care enough to only want the king of beer. There is no other one. There's always something less. Because the king of beer is leading on the rest. When you say Budweiser, you said it all. You said it all.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
At McDonald's, our hamburgers are 100% beef. Lean beef. Leaner than most ground beef you could buy. And you can count on it.
You can count on our beef. It's 100%. You deserve a break today at McDonald's.
100% beef. You can count on it.
Hey, mellow, huh? Nice sounds like these are really sensational over a Delco car stereo tape system. The one with the tape deck concealed behind the radio dial. Ingenious. Order yours from your GM dealer. He can wrap it up in most models of GM's new 1975 cars and trucks. It's the only way you can get Delco stereo. Delco Electronics. The sound of General Motors.
Fall in love with a ghost. That surely must be a curious experience, to say nothing of a dangerous one. Especially if previous tenants of Amanda's little apartment did the same thing. They were strangled to death as a result. But why? Morley Norcross, his ghost, that is, seems a charming, gentle, anything but violent spirit. So why? Amanda certainly has no answer. As for Gil, The man who hopes to marry her.
I just don't plain believe it. This story of yours of what happened here last night.
True, Bill, every word of it. You can check it out if you want to. You're a lawyer. Go to police headquarters or wherever you go. Find out if 2 women were strangled here or not.
If you believe all this, what are you staying here for?
Mrs. Broley says, well, thinks, I've fallen in love with Morley.
Now I've heard everything. You in love with a ghost. Amanda, you don't think you are, do you? If you think that, then you need help, sweetie. You need help in a bad way.
Now you're telling me I'm crazy.
Well, if you're not, you certainly sound
I think you better go, Gil.
Now, wait a minute.
Please, Gil.
I take time off from the office to come down here and drive you to a tryout, your first audition for a Broadway play, and now you tell me to get lost.
I'm sorry, but you get me so upset, so angry with you, and we've never quarreled like this before, never.
Sweetheart, I am sorry. I really am. Now, come on now. Dry the eyes.
Oh, Gil.
I can't believe you're in love with a ghost. But you wouldn't be in love with another man, would you?
Oh, don't be silly. Let's go or I'll be late for my audition.
Belding and Maxwell.
Gilbert Franklin, please.
One moment.
Hello?
Gil? Amanda. Oh, Gil, I'm so excited.
You got the part.
Not the little part, the walk-on. Gil, they listened to me for the ingenue lead. And I got it. I got it.
Ingenue lead. Hey, that's fantastic. I can't believe it.
I can't either.
Now, this calls for a celebration. I'll take you out to dinner tonight. A champagne dinner.
No. Let's celebrate here.
At your place?
I haven't cooked in a week. I'll go out and do some shopping.
Okay, and I'll bring the champagne. Enough for the 3 of us.
The 3 of us?
You, me, and your ghost boyfriend.
I don't think that's very funny, Gil.
Uh-oh, I put my foot in it again. Forgive me. Now, come on, tell me you forgive me.
I forgive you.
And, honey?
Yeah?
Ask Morley Norcross to forgive me, too.
Well, I just never.
I just never. You know, Amanda, that's virtually becoming a cue line for me.
Morley.
Why have you gone so white? Why are you trembling so?
I know now that you're a ghost. Oh. It makes me feel scary.
Oh, please, no. The last thing in the world I want is to frighten you. That you ought to know that, particularly since I did all I could today to help you get the ingenue lead in Hope Springs Eternal.
You?
Didn't you know?
Yes, I did. I felt something. Something that lifted me above myself, above my talent. That made me act as I've never acted before. But I didn't know it was you.
It was. I was there all the time, coaching you. Now, still frightened of me?
No, not really. Only...
Yes.
Did you strangle them, Morley?
The 2 women who lived here before you? Yes. I confess it, I did.
Why?
The painting there above the fireplace. I didn't tell you the whole story behind it.
Why not?
I was ashamed.
Ashamed?
Of what I did to Iris, or tried to do. You see, my dear, she didn't leave me for Thomas Broley just because she'd fallen out of love with me. I was the reason she fell out of love. My ungovernable temper.
Temper?
Rage is a closer word. Violent rage. Another word for it would be ego. My ego that demanded its way or I would fly into an insane fury. Iris, yes, the withered little woman who was your landlady, feared me. Loved me, but feared me. And that is why she left me. That is why, let me also confess, I killed myself out there by the fountain. Not from despair, as I told you. Not from misery. But from sheer, limitless, violent rage. And I have been paying for it ever since.
Oh, Morley. You helped me today. How can I help you?
Amanda, are you sure you want to?
Oh, yes.
Very sure?
Very sure.
Then meet me by the fountain tonight at 10 minutes of 12 tonight.
10 minutes of 12?
That was the hour I took my life. Promise you'll be there.
I'll be there, Morley. I promise.
All right, Amanda. All right, I'll leave.
Gil, don't be angry.
What'd you expect me to be? I invite you to dinner to celebrate. You say, oh, no, come to my place. I'll make dinner. I come, I bring the champagne, and from the minute dinner is over, you keep suggesting I leave.
Gil, it's late.
11:45 midnight is late.
It is for me. I've had a long, nerve-wracking day, and
Okay, I'm going. You want to know something? I may not be back.
Oh, Gil. Gil. The scent of lavender coming from the garden. Yes, Morley. I'm coming.
Yes, who is it?
Gil Franklin, Mrs. Broley.
Just a minute. What do you mean, disturbing an old woman at this hour of the night? I need my rest.
And I need my girl, Mrs. Broley. The girl I intend to marry.
What's that got to do with me?
Maybe nothing, maybe everything. All I know, there's something queer going on here, especially tonight. And I intend to get to the bottom of it. Mrs. Broley, I want to know the whole story. The whole story, you understand? Of what's happened in that room since Morley Norcross committed suicide over 60 years ago.
Morley.
I startled you again.
Not really. It's just 10 of 12.
And a beautiful moonlit night.
Very beautiful.
You're ready. You're sure you're ready to keep your promise.
Oh, yes. What do you want me to do?
Amanda, you think of me as a ghost.
You are.
Ghost, it's only a word, my dear, because I am doesn't mean I don't exist. I do. I am as alive as you, only I live on a different plane of existence now.
A different plane of existence?
You might even say a different level of consciousness.
I don't understand.
No mortal does. No mortal can.
Try.
It's as simple as this. Nothing is. Nothing begins, nothing ends. It's all the same. A continuum. Only on different levels, varying planes of life. Living. To sum it up, my darling, there is no such thing as life. No such thing as death.
I guess I don't understand.
You know, the level I'm on, I don't understand all of it either. This only do I know. The world that was once mine and is now yours is nothing but illusion. Illusion, my dearest. That is all it is. So it will be only an illusion you leave now.
Leave? My world?
To enter mine.
Oh.
You promised. Remember, you promised.
Yes, but... Oh, Morley, how can I leave it? My world?
Illusion.
Illusion, reality, call it what you like. I don't know. But Morley, I'm going to be the ingenue lead in a Broadway play. It's what I've wanted, dreamed of, yearned for since I was a child. I can't leave that.
You must.
I can't.
I tell you, you must. Can't you understand? What you're leaving is nothing. Nothing to what you'll find on my plane. I'm not taking anything from you. I'm giving you everything.
But what I want...
You promised. You promised. Rotten hell if you didn't promise.
You're strangling me.
You promised. You promised
me. Dad, I'll keep my promise. I didn't say I wouldn't. Only that I wanted something else. So much.
You wanted it? That much? You want it? That much?
Yes.
But you would give it up for me?
A promise is a promise.
Oh, and a selfless act is a selfless act.
What?
Amanda?
She's not here in the room. The girl.
Look, Amanda. Look. And listen.
The fountain. It's flowing again. And birds singing in the garden at midnight.
Remember, I said the fountain would never flow again. The birds sing no more until someone, somewhere, sometime did something so supremely unselfish, so totally and completely selfless that the act of suicide committed here, my suicide, would be painful. Oh, Amanda, Amanda. Amanda? I knew it would be you. I knew it. Amanda? And I was right. Amanda.
Gil! Oh, Gil!
Darling.
The fountain. Oh, my God, the fountain.
Yes, it's flowing again, Mrs. Broley, and the birds are singing.
I don't understand.
Don't try. Just don't bother trying, Mrs. Broley.
But I must, because I've always had the feeling that if ever the fountain started again, I would stop.
You would...
Oh. Gil, catch her. She's fainted.
No, Amanda. She's...
Not Gil. Alive. Very much alive. On another level. Another plane of existence. And oh, God, make it a happier one for her. And Morley.
Planes of existence, levels of consciousness, the self, the over-self, the super-self. What do I know? Comes to that, what do you know? We don't. Because if what I read, what they tell me is so, our brains simply aren't equipped to understand. I once asked a Buddhist monk about this, and he said, you mustn't try to understand. Just experience. That says it all, I guess. I'll be back shortly.
If you take a look at the 1975 cars, you'll notice a European influence. And there are some new American cars that rival the Europeans. One being Buick's new Skylark SR, with its touring car interior and spirited little V6 engine. But don't think of the Skylark SR as a European tourer. We're proud of the fact that it's a Buick. You will be, too.
Buick.
Florence,
dedicated to the
1506. Leonardo da Vinci paints the Mona Lisa. Hudson and Landry are there with sun-sweet prunes.
Look, Senora, how many times I've got to tell you all I want's an Angelica smile?
Listen, Leonardo, get off my back. I've been trying to give you a smile for 6 weeks now. First you say I'm smiling too much, then not enough. I'm wasted. Besides, I'm hungry.
Here, have us some sun-sweet prunes.
They'll make me smile?
Sun-sweet prunes? Full of vitamins and minerals and other good things. They give you stamina you need to sit here another 6 weeks till I get you a smile right.
But why sun-sweet prunes?
Because more people eat sun-sweet than any other prunes. They're always fresh and moist and tender. Now eat your prawns and smile.
Oh, your eyes sparkle when you get mad, Lenny.
Cheer up with sun-sweet prunes. Think of them as vitamins with wrinkles.
Amanda Phillips didn't become a Broadway star. She became Mrs. Gilbert Franklin. Oh, she played the ingenue lead in Hope Springs Eternal, all right. But the play folded in New Haven. Well, if Morley Norcross was right, it doesn't much matter. After all, the world we live in, you and I, nothing but illusion. Some illusion. Our cast included Diane Baker, John Newland, Ann Seymour, and Dennis Cole. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
Now, a preview of our next tale.
I'm not with the police, I swear it.
And why all the questions, huh? Why all the nosing around?
Ow, you're hurting me.
Take it easy. I don't want no trouble in here.
Something. She's got to be. Bess told her I do business in your place, and now she shows up here the next morning. Don't that sound fishy to you?
Well, it's funny.
Come on, baby.
I don't. I was just the statue. Oh, I just wanted the statue.
The what?
I guess she needs this thing.
What's the statue got to do with... Wait a minute. Wait. You're right, Wormer. She's not a cop. Yeah, she's been acting like a cop, but that's not what she is.
Please. Oh, please let me go. I didn't mean any harm. Please let me go.
No,
Please.
sugar. You're not a cop at all.
What you are is a nun.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
Acid indigestion and this pressure. It's gas again.
Digel has told you that acid indigestion and heartburn are often accompanied by gas. Digel calls it gassed indigestion. Now a report from the U.S. government confirms that the only ingredients recognized effective against both acid indigestion and gas are an antacid combined with simethicone. That's what Digel is. No antacid alone relieves like Digel does. Use only as directed. Digel, in regular mint flavor, and now new lemon orange.
News Authority, KRLV, Dallas.